Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Can I get your attention? Um, Assalamu alaikum, everyone, again. Honestly, just looking around this room, I feel so much gratitude. This is what a community looks like. This is what it means to come together for our families, our kids, and each other. Thank you for being here, and presence matters.
Thank you. Before we begin, I want to thank everybody who sponsored us, the vendors who are here. I want to thank Prevail for coming, all three of their teams. Thank you so much. I want to thank the ARC. Thank you so much for coming. I want to thank, Harmony Living. I have my list, okay? Don't distract me, sir. Don't distract me. Okay, I want to start from the beginning. These are our sponsors, and I would like to thank them. Abdul Mohammed CPA. We would like to thank the Seattle Housing Authority for making this space available and wonderful for us to use it. Thank you so much. Me, Fatima Bulale, for all my work. Um, um, Harmony Homes, Harmony Living Services, Hamza, thank you. We have two vendors today outside, Hoya's Closet, for those of you looking for batis, and Sab's Matcha, which have come and supported us. Thank you. We have Othello Station up front right there, an amazing community service. Thank you for being here. We have Prevail again. Thank you so much. We have the Department of Social and Health Services, DSHS, thank you. We have Somali Independent Business Alliance, SIBA, thank you so much. We have South Sound Strategies, thank you so much for all your help, Nim'a. We have Supportive Childcare Providers Alliance, thank you so much. Amazing work they're doing with the caregivers. Thank you so much, Washington Mutual Multicultural Link for Services Link, Washington Multicultural Services Link, for having an amazing table and sending one of their representatives. Thank you so much. If there's anybody I have forgotten, I'll come back to you. Thank you so much. For now, as we start our event, I want to say thank you so much again for coming. We are so excited. Like Hamza said, our community does like to start late, but we also like to stay late as well. So don't worry. Let's get started right now. We're gonna begin our program. Thank you. Give us a minute. I'm gonna say a quick thing about the word Maangaar for those of you guys who are not familiar with it. So the word Maangaar is the Somali word for autism. It was coined by a friend and a friend from Minnesota, Dr. Hussein Ajwa, who works with the group Maangaar Voices. He's on their board, and he's a Somali language lover. And was it in 2001, 21? I think when they were doing the work and they came up with it. So Maangaar means unique mind in Somali, which is what we think really speaks to being autistic in our language at least.
And to further clarify, which is very important, and I believe this was in 2023, if I'm
2023, yes.
yeah, 2023, if I'm not mistaken, we had a group of brilliant young minds.
Yes.
And we figured, especially in our community, dealing with the stigma and basically families hiding their own kids, we figured we have to coin a phrase that resembles something they can relate to. Because without a name, everybody associated autism with a disease. So with the shame that associated with
A
that,
Western illness, something, yes, that
yes,
didn't happen to us.
exactly. So at the end of the day, is we figured, how do we combat this stigma? By at least giving it a name, something that resembles. And one of our beautiful friends, an amazing, we call her the human AI. I don't know where she's at. Anissa
somewhere.
Haji, she's somewhere here. She found this term from the Maui tribe. They have a special name for autism, which basically means
At their own time.
in their own space and time. So we figured something similar to that. We know they are no less, but they just have a unique mind. They think differently. They move differently. They feel differently. So how do we find something that the community could feel comfortable and say, yes, my child has Mangar? Because having them say my child had autism was a little bit of a stretch. They felt they weren't comfortable or ready to say. So it helped us basically break that stigma. So we really, so basically unique mind.
Yes, unique
And
mind.
and it helps us pretty much bring these families out of the shadows. Because trust me, there was a lot of families. And I've been fighting for the last 10 years, try to bring these families out of the shadow so they feel comfortable and say, yes, I need help. And we've come a long way. So I appreciate each and every one of you who continued beating that drum.
We
Thank you.
don't want to continue too long without starting with the right way, with the Quran and a quick dawah. So we're going to call Ali Abdullahi to give us a quick Quran and to give us a couple of spoken words from the community today. I want to give a little bit of an intro to those of you who don't know Ali Abdullah. He's known as Abti Ali to the community. For those of you who know him, he's a Seattle-based community organizer, a soccer coach, and a youth leader. He serves as the president of the Seattle Stars, which is a soccer team here, and hosts the Seattle Somali Week every year. I think this is their 27th year. He brings the community together through culture and connection. He also has been doing a huge amount of work in supporting families. Lately, we've had a couple of elopements, and Ali and Hamza and many other individuals have been doing a lot of work to help with the families when we've been having a structural problem with the police and they couldn't help us. The community stepped up. Ali, come on up.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد صدق الله العظيم. Hello, thank you so much, Sister Fatima, for this amazing event. I was never involved with the Maangaar community before. I was just obsessed about sports and soccer until brother Hamza last year, he called me to help out, to share, because I have a lot of network in my community. They call me the King of Fab. I'm basically, I'm a king of five. Reason why, because I'm always still in all communities. So I have a lot of Somali community involved with me, especially when it comes to sports. So brother Hamza called me.
For those that don't understand, FOB basically means fresh off the boat.
Yeah. So we took that. So brother Hamza called me and was like, "Hey, there's a kid missing, and I would like you to share these flyers to your network." I was like, "Kid is missing." So as Somali community, when it comes to kid missing, it's a big deal. You know, in all of our community, you know, we take it very personal. So I shared a video clip. Alhamdulillah, Hamza and his team. That was my first time meeting the family, seeing how everybody was obsessed on finding our kid. So alhamdulillah, we found him, and I never left since that day. You know, I was still in a WhatsApp group, reading all the comments, seeing brother Hamza and Sister Hodan and Rahma all involving and basically keeping the group alive. And one day, one of my soccer players called me at 3 a.m. telling me that his kid is missing for the past 3 days. I was like, all right, 3 days, that's a long time. There's community knows about it. So I know if Hamza don't know about it, that means no one knows about it. So I shared in our group message, you know, in our WhatsApp group. I was like, guys, you know, I think we didn't learn. You know, our first kid get lost, we find him. Now we didn't move forward. We didn't create more awareness. We didn't make sure that this would never happen again. And it happened. We lost Kennedy, and for 2 days he was just lost. until his cousin reached out to one of my soccer players, and she said, "Hey, I want to go look for my brother." And it was like, "Hey, hold up! I know a crazy coach that I have. I'm gonna call him and make sure he knows about this." So I put in a WhatsApp group. That's how Hamza and Rahma and everybody in the group got involved. Alhamdulillah, we found him in less than 2 days. After that, I promised myself, and I said, "This is never gonna happen again." It's time for our mothers, for our sisters, for our brothers to be involved, to not be ashamed of what Allah give you. This is amana. Ilahi amana ku dhiibtay. It means that Allah give you this kid or this daughter that has a mangar. Amana kugu tahay, and it's time for us to be involved and help out whoever is involved to support our Mangar community. I appreciate Allah. Thank you so much. And please, and please, and please, let's not shame our community. Let's not make this a big deal. If we lose one kid, tomorrow it's going to be you, it's going to be me, it's going to be all of us. So we cannot let any kid be missing. And please get involved in the community more, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Brother Ali.
I'm so glad we have people like Ali. When somebody you can call when we are under the struggle, when we have someone we need community, because without our community, who can we be?
No one, that's for sure. And one thing we have to understand, which is very important, I personally believe our whole community is on the spectrum because they're always on the go. We are a community that came from a lot of trauma, untreated trauma, wars, and all that kind of stuff. So I believe personally, and when I'm talking to a lot of people, some will deny, but I tell you right now, we are full of ADHDs.
Yes, yes, we are.
And that actually is our strength in a way. So thank you.
Yes, please do.
Okay, now without much further ado, I want to call our brother, as I call him, Brother Abukar, who's an amazing poet. Abukar Sultan is a poet and a storyteller with a deep love for the Somali language and its rich traditions. Raised in Seattle, Washington, his work reflects commitment to culture, community, and meaningful expression. As an uncle to an autistic children, Abukar brings both love and lived experience into his writing, including a powerful poem honoring and uplifting autistic individual.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. So the anglicized version of my name is Abukar since kindergarten, but Abukar is also my name. One of the people I really wish to congratulate is not congratulate, but really give acknowledgement to is Hussein Ojama, who sort of coined the term Maangaar, right? And Maangaar, it really is linguistically speaking, right? Roughly translated, it means brilliant mind. But huh? Oh, linguistically speaking, right? In the English language, the term Maangaar is roughly translated as unique mind. Nonetheless, the term man in the Somali language goes far beyond that. It really covers the essence of one's being. And it can never truly be translated in the English language. And I think it's just part of the lexicon of, languages and the way they're prescribed and shared. Of all people, we can agree autistic kids and adults are the most authentic among us. Their love is unconditional and pure, their joy is infectious, and their brilliance is unmatched. On a daily basis, they hold the mirror up to us as a society to look at each other and be like, what is it about us that how are these brilliant human beings for such a long time not really recognized in the way that they have been, right? They are young kids, they grow up being teenagers and eventually adults. And it goes beyond just, kids and parents that have deal with this. As such, I decided to write a piece, a short poem. We are a society conditioned by a set of rules, formalities designed by others to fit a certain norm. As such, we ostracize that which we do not understand. When led by our hearts, we see the beauty in all walks of life. Today, I pen to paper for artistic kin, hoping to edge in your heart the eclectic ways of their mind that surpasses us every day. How they display raw emotions and authenticity, whereby we shy away. Maangaar goes beyond flesh and bones and bridges the heart and soul. Our neurodivergent family showers us daily with love and warmth. They give us cuddles, kisses, and disgruntled come feedback about our food and cooking. But they are also teenagers and adults with hopes and dreams, each brilliant in their own way with their unique personality. May Allah bless them, their parents, and their caretakers who are all unseen. Truly, I say to the parents with autistic kids, you have won the lottery in life. Tough as it may be, you have found unconditional love, unbeknownst to us all, and are beyond and are upon a journey only the Most High can know. That is a blessing you will forever have. May Allah bless you all. Assalamu alaikum.
Abukar is not only a poet, but he's also my brother-in-law, so and my son's uncle. So I'm lucky enough to have a really supportive family, and Jibril and all of us have had. He's taught us about neurodivergence. He's taught us about different abilities. He's taught us about differences, and I think this is why today we're having this event, so we can share our joy and love for autistic folks, for Maangaar people. We want to share that love with our community and come together and celebrate in this month of autism awareness. And another fun fact, I think April 2nd is Autism Awareness Day, and that's my birthday as well. So I was just meant to be, it was meant to be. But thank you guys. Really, I appreciate you guys for coming again. Next, we have, I think, one of the most interesting people that I've ever met. He's only 25. But he's been above and beyond an amazing person. Mahad Dahir is Mahad Dahir is a Mahad Dahir is a Pacific Northwest native. He's raised and lived in both Oregon and Washington. His leadership is rooted in his lived experiences as an autistic individual, a strong commitment to accessibility and advocacy. He's made history as the first student from Achieve, an inclusive program for people with disabilities to serve in student government at Highline College. He now attends the University of Washington, studying law, politics, and applied computing with a focus on building more inclusive and equitable future. Mahat is a huge leader in Seattle, Washington, and all around, but I would say he's a leader nationally as well. The recognition he brings to autistic people in our community is undescribable. Please come on over, Mahat.
And just to add one more thing, Mahad's mom is one of the pioneers in Seattle, in the Washington area, who basically helped a lot of mothers back in the days when they were confused, overwhelmed. She opened those doors because you can tell she raised an amazing, amazing young man. The mic is all yours, brother.
بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه أجمعين. أيوة السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. I can't hear you. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. I don't know if I can still hear you. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. ما شاء الله تبارك الله جزاك الله خيرا. I want to thank Fatima and Hamza for inviting me here today to this really, really critically important summit being brought right here in the Pacific Northwest. Woo! Oh, subhanAllah, the love and appreciation I'm getting from all of you is really, really, truly inspiring and inspirational. Next slide, please. So for those who don't know me, my name is Mahatahir or Mahadahir, whichever you prefer. Don't worry, I won't sue you if you screw over my name. But as you can tell, as you can tell just now, I am a dedicated and energetic Maangaar self-advocate. As Father said, I grew up here in the Pacific Northwest, both here in Washington and in Oregon. So you could say I literally grew up along Interstate 5 because that's the freeway that links the two states. And I'm also your friendly neighborhood self-advocate, and I'll tell you more about my experience as the presentation goes on. And I've been at this work over the last 5 years, and I've worked hard to accomplish a great deal. But my journey started long before that. Next slide. Next slide. No pressure, Nim'o. So as you can see here, my story began when I was born in 2000 in a hospital just outside of Portland, and in 2 years after that, I was diagnosed on the spectrum. But here's the thing, though. Hoy, that she didn't know what autism was, and how it'll impact her, and not only impact her, but also me in terms of how we access resources and how we navigate our community. And so early intervention was not only critical, but also really, really made a difference in my growth and development, which leads into my schooling days back in Oregon. I was placed in a level 2 learning resource center at a school called William Walker Elementary. It's within the Portland Beaverton city lines. Ismail, what someone knows a thing or two about that. Shout out to those who came from Portland, to him. Yeah, let's give him a big round of applause. Honestly, if you read his Facebook posts, you will definitely know he knows his stuff. But I attended special education classes throughout elementary school at William Walker, and then my transition into where I am today really began in earnest in middle school when I moved to this region in 2012, so 14 years ago. And from there, I attended both middle school and high school, both here and overseas, obviously, outside of a 4-year stint in Africa and Asia. And it was during my time in Africa is when I found a calling. Well, before I get to Africa, I do want to mention that I began my integration into general education classes when I first moved to this region. And although I had still got some support for speech and OT resources, that's what really made the difference, that allowed me to go from nonverbal to extroverted. And from there, I was very energetic and started engaging in community work, both here and when I went to Africa, which leads to what's going on today. I graduated from Highline in the 2023 and 2024. And during my time at Highline, as Father said, I became the first student from a program called Achieve to serve on student government over there. Which means no student from that particular program has ever ran for a student government office until I decided to really change that and put my name in the hat, subhanAllah. And from there, I was elected with a near unanimous vote from the entire student body at Highline. It's like 98, 99.9, whatever % of the vote for the entire student body. But alhamdulillah, I really used my small experience to advocate for our multi-generational student body and like especially those in that particular program, and any student with a disability, because they need not just need support, but they need someone to stand on, like really build a legacy. It's really all about legacy. And that's what my time at Highland has taught me. How can you leave a legacy for others so that they could follow in your footsteps? And now I currently attend. I transferred into the University of Washington Tacoma. For those who don't know, the UW campus, just like many campuses all over the country, have multiple campuses in various cities. I do not go to the Seattle one. I go to the Tacoma one. Well, there, and I'm currently studying law and policy along with applied computing. And what that tells you is I'm at the intersection of technology, accessibility, and public service, because at the end of the day, this intersection is ever growing, but we need people in this, because come on, with technology, we all know how to use technology, but unfortunately, uh, many of the technology we use today is very inaccessible and very ableist. And so what I'm trying to do is really change all that, not just for myself, but for our entire community. Because although we need technology to be accessible for ourselves and our various communities. And yes, I serve as the self-advocacy educator for an organization called Washington Multicultural Services Link. Had to correct you there, Hubble. But alhamdulillah, but at least whatchamacallit, you acknowledge your mistake. But it was Services Link. Don't forget the S, please. And as you can see here, I have my two teammates, my two coworkers over there, Hani and Habak. Let's give them a big round of applause. We may be a small team, but we are super mighty. And shout out to Habara Holden for founding this organization, because we need organizations like WMS Link to really not only serve our families, but fight for them as well. And next slide. Now I told you my story. Now let me tell you what it relates to in terms of what I like to call the Maangaar mentality. So we all know a Maangaar means a unique mind. But what about the Maangaar mentality? Well, this is an example of the Maangaar mentality. All of you showing up for our loved ones who are Maangaar, Give yourselves a big round of applause. And it goes to show that this mentality is all about perseverance, positivity, and solidarity, or as we like to say in Somali, in addition to uniqueness. And it also enables us to tell our own stories that aim to celebrate who we are as a community, rather than cling onto the ableist thoughts and feelings that we grew up with. And it also teaches us to renew the fight ahead of us. And you want to know the testament to that? Next slide. This is it right here. This is it right here. We all played a role in advocating for our community when it comes to the Maangaar movement. We all have that mentality inside. And to quote, and when you combine all of this, combine our efforts, our resources, and all the love, you get, this is the result. Or hold on, let me leave it to a Seattle legend here. That's Richard Sherman right there. One of the best players out there, one of the best Seahawks players out there. That's the result you're gonna get. This is beautiful right here. When we all come together and put our resources together, our minds together, that's the result you're gonna get, as Sherman just said. Alhamdulillah. All right, next slide. I would like to leave you with some parting words. And there isn't a particular verse from Surah Al-Sharh in the Quran, Inna ma'al usri yusra, which translates to, with hardship comes ease. And let me explain to you what that means from a Maangaar perspective. Yes, we struggle. yes, when we find out about autism for the first time, many of us in our community, uh, we faced a lot of challenges, but that doesn't mean we can't give up. We have to keep fighting and keep advocating and keep putting our minds and resources together in order to fight for what we believe in, to create a truly unique and truly equitable future for all our Maangaar individuals and loved ones, both today and as we move forward. Alhamdulillah. Next slide. However, I do have one more thing, and this is a battle cry for us all. I feel like what you might call it, and it's so big that I decided to let somebody else say it. You ready? All right, here goes nothing. What the my God movement? It's cooking. Next slide. And with that, that's all, folks. I got nothing else to say.
Amazing. Amazing. Hello. Yes. Thank you, Mahad. Thank you so much for setting, bringing the excitement, bringing the truth, bringing everything. We really appreciate you. Thank you again for Mahad. One more time. Let's do it. Woo! I have known Mahad for so long, since he was a kid. When we talk about leaders, when we talk about parents who are leaders, what they do is they create children who are leaders, youth who are leaders, adults who are leaders. His mother is one of the she was one of my mentors when Jibril was so little and we didn't have a lot of autism moms or people who knew about autism. Somehow, I can't even remember how we were connected, but someone connected us, and she's been in my life since, and so has Mahad. And now to see him, amazing, amazing. One person, one organization that I wanted to give a little shout out to, coming all the way from Northeast Seattle, not Seattle, but Washington. I consider everything Seattle nowadays because I live in Seattle. I'm cool. Okay, not I don't live in the suburbs. Sorry. Um, Fission Behavior Consulting. Thank you. There they are. I'm gonna tell you a little bit, and we're gonna hear from Zainab later. Zainab Warsame, MS, BCBA, LBA. Um, she, right? All of those. The organization, let me tell you a little bit, they strive to enhance the quality of life of individuals by using evidence-based ABA techniques to promote independence, social integration, functional skills. They have so many services. They have home services, they have parent training, they have community ABA. So I hope you're ready because we have some questions for you later. But thank you so much for being here. Right now, I want to invite one of our sponsor speakers, and then we will go for a break for Asr. Thank you guys for being so patient with us. Let me get my stuff ready. Okay, I want to invite Fatima Adam today. Thank you, Fatima Adam. Fatima Adam's organization is one of the ones who has come through and sponsored us. Supportive Childcare Provider Alliance. As a mom, as a parent of a child who's autistic, I know the importance of having well thought out intentional caregiver support. We can't do this all by ourselves, so we need the support of trained professionals, people who know how to take care of our children, people who understand our children's needs. So the organization Fatima is the president of, is amazing and does a lot of work here in Seattle, and she's going to tell us a little bit of that. But in the meantime, let me just say a little bit about Fatima. Fatima Adam holds a bachelor's and a master's degree in social work. She is deeply committed to supporting children, families, and the childcare workforce. She is the executive director of Childcare, Supportive Childcare Provider Alliance, where she works closely with providers to navigate licensing, build sustainable businesses, and access critical resources. Alongside her leadership, she teaches part-time in the early childhood education program at North Seattle College, helping, oh yeah, right? helping shape the next generation of educators. In addition to these roles, she is, sorry, I have to remove my glasses. I'm so old now. She dedicates her time to serving on boards and supporting other community based organizations. Her work centers on community, culture, cultural responsiveness, and creating meaningful, accessible support systems. Come on aboard, Fatima.
Let me know if you guys can hear me. Yeah. It's gonna be kind of hard to follow up after Mahad. I'm gonna be a little bit more boring. But thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Fatima. I want to really appreciate Fatima as well for inviting me to be a part of the summit. Once we heard about it as an organization and as myself, we were like, we need to support 100%. And so, these gatherings are so crucial, especially for our community. It's also tied to our cultural tradition of oral storytelling and oral sharing. So coming together right now is it's really essential and important. And that's also why I'm here today. And I'm also honored to be a part of this space. Um, yeah, so one of the things our organization does is we support families and childcare providers. So we support the childcare provider who supports the child and the family as a whole. So I'm going to ask a couple of questions across the board. How many of you have ever tried to access resources or tried to find an answer for a question you had or a concern that you had, a difficulty or faced challenges? You can raise your hand if you have experienced difficulties navigating systems. So yeah, that's quite a few hands. So at SCPA, one of our goals is to make sure those systems don't come off as intimidating and they are not challenging. So we demystify that those issues. So we have 3 programs that we offer at SCPA. The first one being our provider empowerment program, where we support providers through business licensing and D2F, navigating D2F licensing as well, and offering business classes and trainings. Our second program is our holistic health program that I really want to dive into, since it's tied to the work that we're doing here today. We provide holistic health services, health consultations to childcare providers and the children in their care, free of cost. We offer nutritional support as well, so families can sign up and get tailored nutritional services tailored to their cultural needs, which is really great, mashallah. Yeah, and then also our third program, and one of my favorite programs, is our family support services, where we offer different resources to families, help them navigate systems, along with also hosting a series of storytelling sessions similar to this, oral storytelling sessions with children and families with our partners, Pathways to Progress Alliance and the Seattle Public Library. I'm going to put a little plug in. Please come April 22nd to the Beacon Hill branch with your kiddos. We do cultural storytelling. There'll be dancing, poetry, food, fun. So inshallah, please try to make it out there if you can. If you have any questions about it, you could always feel free to reach out to our table right there. We have Abdullah and Lelan. They're ready to help. And I also want to highlight the importance of early screening that we do in our holistic health program. The importance, it helps us notice things early on, and so we can respond and reduce confusion and frustration. Usually when we don't know how to solve, how to work with children, it causes a lot of confusion, frustration, not for only the parent, but for the provider as well. But in order for a child's well-being to be successful, the adults in their lives need to be connected. So when the provider and the child are working together to support the child, the outcome is always positive. And there are many different resources that are offered to providers. Quick question, how many childcare providers are in the space right now? Family home childcare providers, childcare centers. Okay, we have a couple, mashallah. So many of them also are aware of the different resources that King County Public Health, childcare health consultations offer, and also the Best Starts for Kids health consultation lookup, as well as the DCYF early support for infant and toddlers. So these are all resources that are available to providers, and families are encouraged to connect with the childcare provider who's caring for their kiddo to find resources, see what how their child is, check on the developmental milestones, and communicate overall. And so, yeah. So again, the most important thing about this event is that we're connecting resources to community. And I want to highlight that by saying that We are here as a service and as a supportive service to not only childcare providers but families as well. So if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach our table. And yeah, thank you again. And I'm going to plug in our health consultations one more time. They're a free service that providers and families can use. Health consultations, access to a nurse, a registered nurse, and a nutritionist that can help you. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, thank you. I know it's Asr time. Thank you for your patience. So we'll take a 30-minute break. We'll pray for Asr and the Shah that will be coming and snacks. So we'll be back actually in 25 minutes. So in 25 minutes, not 30 minutes. Thank you guys for your patience, and we'll see you back here in 25 minutes.
And by the way, anybody that wants to go pray, the downstairs is the quiet place. They can just go downstairs. And this is a time for anybody who wants just to mingle, get to know the providers, go to their table, ask questions. This is exactly why we brought them over here, so you can benefit from their providing. All right, thank you.
Okay. As Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm gonna speak in English and Somali because the af Soomaaligeena waan xoojinaa. One, talabaad ummadeena aan u shaqeynayno inay hooyooyinku naga faa'iidaan waa muhiim inaan af Soomaaliga ugu simple, like simplify u jajabino ay u fahmaan si ay uga dhargaan afkooda, right? So I'll speak up here. Okay. So my name is Dr. Muna Osman. I am a doctorately prepared nurse practitioner. I am the founder of a new clinic coming to Tukwila, Washington, Holistic Family Care Clinic, Tukwila. Waan soo soconnaa, inshallah. I'm going to keep you guys posted. I'm a family care practitioner. Waxaan u shaqeynaa qoysaska, ciyaalka ilaa dadka markay da' yihiin. Of course, Somaligayga igu dulqaata. Marka, and meeshan waxaan maanta isugu nimi horta, thank you so much for organizing this and bringing us all together, because there is no enough spaces. Meelal annaku aan isugu nimaadno oo aan maskaxdeena xataa annaku aan wadaagno maxaan qaban karnaa sidaan ulaga nimaadnaa. So thank you so much for this great team. And haddaan anigu ka hadlo autismka waxa weeyaan inta badan annagu waxaanan aqoon haddaan Soomaali nahay waxaan idhahnaa ma jiro waana lagu soo riixayaa sheekadani why now hadda wuu inagu batay laakiin taasi waxay ka imanaysaa aqoon la'aanta, right? Ma ogin enough information, ma ogin waxaan maanta maxay la sameeyeen groupkani dadkii aad ka dhargi lahaydeen baa halkan fadhiya aan su'aalada weydiinaynaa annakuna connection baan sameynaynaa because waxa kaa maqan walaalkaa buu ku duugan yahay soo maha autismku waxa weeyaan disease waxay tahay only wuxuu yahay qofkan maskaxdiisu tallaal different oo u gaara maangaar weeyaan inaan fahamno muxuu yahay dawo la qaato oo kaxeynaysa ma jirto laakiin farahayn buu u baahan yahay farqabsi buu u baahan yahay shaqo u baahan yahay Soomaalida maxay yiraahdaan farifool ma dhaqdo marka annagoo inta taqaana inta aan aqoon inaan iskaashano oon aqoonteena iyo xooggeena aan kaashano iyo dadku ilaahay inoogu manaystay 20 years ago I don't see so many clinicians in one place, right? Maanta man ilaahay baa inoogu mahadnaqay marka autismka marka laga hadlayo waxaan ka bilaabayaa groupkayaga sharafta leh ee noo yimi microphone-kan waan idin keenayaa inaad horta dadka isbartaan oo aad تعرفون على نفسكم أو you introduce yourself.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Zainab Warsame. That's my name. Assalamu alaikum. I'm a board certified behavior analyst. I've been in the field of applied behavior analysis for the last 10 years. And I've had the pleasure to work with so many families in the home setting, in clinic settings, in schools, as well as support our kiddos in the community. I am super honored to be part of this summit, and I'm looking forward to many more, inshallah.
My name is Obah Ali. I'm a registered behavioral therapist. I'm a Canadian, born Canada, love Canada. I have love for ABA. Has always been fascinated with it. I've been in the field for about 4 years now, in the school-based, and I love what I do. Alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I am Dr. Amin Bashir. I'm a psychologist. Let's see, I've been in the field for probably about 10 years, 11 years. I was a social worker in my previous life, so I am a lover of the field of helping people, whatever that looks like. And eventually I got intrigued by the brain and decided to pursue a doctorate.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Wa salam dhamaantiin. And ugu horreyntii, I want to thank the organizers for Maangaar Summit and Elmi Foundation. Let's give a round of applause to Fadum and her team. And my name is Dr. Ahmed Ali. I am the owner of Othello Station Pharmacy, Intercooler Station Pharmacy. Before that, and waxaan ahaa agaasimaha guud, I'm executive director for Somali Health Board. Maanta waxaan la joogta Najma. She's there, the current executive of Somali Health Board. Give a shout out to her. I have been a practicing pharmacist for the last 12 years and own the only independent, Black-owned independent pharmacies here in King County. maadaama ay joogaan waalido af Ingiriiska aan si fiican uga hadli karin ama luqaddeena af Soomaaliya aan isku dayno aan ku hadalno. Waxaan jeclaysanay in aan ka hadalno waxyaalaha ku saabsan autism. Qof walba gabdhaha inta jooga horta fursad qaali noo tahay runtii. Waxaan xasuustaa 10 sano ka hor first autism event aan sameynay. Waxaan weynaa hal waarid oo istaaga oo dhaho cunugeyga waa autistic. So to be in this space right now, it is of a miracle. So thank you so much for the organizers and thank you everyone for being here.
MashaAllah, thank you, Dr. Ahmed Warunti. A few years back, we couldn't even talk about it in public. Marka anigo ku soo noqonaya Dr. Ahmed, since adigu aad dhameysay imika adaan ka bilaabayna. So the last one who spoken. Horta, there is a lot waxa jira waxyaabo badan oo information khalada dadka mar walba yani dadka dad baa baahiya waxa khaldan ama waxa la bedelo dadkuna ma garanayaan iyay dhageystaan yaa sax sheegaya yaa run sheegaya markay noqoto dawo horta waliba dawada faahfaahinteeda right inay dadku ogaadaan maxay u qabanaysaa in yar ma noo taaban kartaa dawooyinka autismka halkay ka taagan tahay se ma daweyn kartaa treatment.
Dr. Mona aad u mahadsantahay. Horta waa su'aal aad u wanaagsan. Horta waan ognahay ilmaha ama dadka autismka qaba ma aha dad ka duwan bulshada kale. Waxay ka duwan yihiin malaha waa anagoo kale. Daawada ay qaadanayaan waxa weeye waa kaalmaati. Ma jiro hal daawo u gaara. One specific daawo oo qofka daaweynaya autism. Waa spectrum kala leeyahay ama waxaa jira qofka naftiisa ama ha noqoto cuniga ama qofka autism ka qaba daaweyn waxaa jira ka caawinaya si noloshiisa uu u kabo. Waxaa jira qofka laga yaabo cuniga ama inuu agitation ama hurdo la'aan ku dhici karo, anxiety. Marka daaweyn far badan waxaa jira qofka loo qori karo oo la siin karo gabdhaha walaalaheena way ka taaban doonaan. Daawooyinkaasi ma aha specifically to all individuals that are autistic. Marka waa very unique. Anaga Soomaali haddaan nahay waxaan aaminsanahay qof baa daawo la soo siiyey marka qaarkood farmashiga ugu yimaadaan maama ku imaanayso waxay ku leedahay hebel ama heblaayo wiilkeeda daawadaan la siiyey daawadaan cunug waa ku fiicnaaday annagana dhakhtarka mu noo qora maana siiyo. Marka waa very unique, it's very individualized. Waa inaan fahanno qof walba daawada la siiyo ma aha qof walba daawadiisa inay tari doonto wixii lagu talagalay. Dadku waa laga bedeli karaa. Waxaa jira marka qaarkood daawo anxiety lagu talagalay oo ayaga aftigooda caawin kara. Waxaa jira agitationka lagu talagalay oo qofka caawin kara waxaas. Waxaa jira daawooyin hurdo la'aanta cunug ku ridi kara ama saasoo kale saameyn kara. Marka daawadu ay qaadanayaan vitamin qaad muxuu yahay. Badanaa dhakhtarkaaga la kaasho farmashiga ma haddaa su'aal qabtid su'aalahana ceeb ma aha. Annaga Soomaali haddaan nahay waxaan jecelnahay in ayeeyo ama awoowe ama imaamkii. There's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. But laakiin dadka ku takhasusay inaad su'aasha weydiisid inaad weydiisid alla hadashid ceeb ma aha. Go and ask the questions, find out what the side effects are. Daawada side effects bay leedahay. Marka maadaama cunugaaga haddii uu ka dareemo wixii daawada siisay waxay ka dareentay aad jeclaysan then dhakhtarka kaasho la hadal ha laga bedelo milligramka laga bedeli kara dooska laga bedeli kara waa loo kordhin karaa waa yareyn karaa. Marka Dr. Muna haddaan usoo laabto su-aashaada haddaan soo koobo there's not one specific keyword ma jiro laakiin waxyaalaha qofku u baahan yahay waxa waa inuu ogaado cunugayga ama qofkan autistic muxuu u baahan yahay what does he need what has been tried what's working what's not working those are the options that exist annaga at Othello Station to Cola Station waxyaalaha ugu duwanahay the big chains the Walgreens that I take to kale waxa weeye waxaad ugu imaanaysaa qof luqadaada ku hadlaya oo ku fahansiinaya daawada waxay tahay iyo kalmaatiga u baahan tahay waxaa kaloo la kulmaysaa badanaa walaalkay Hamza tukulo yimaada waxaa jira faamilo oo u baahan waxa la yiraahdo bubble pack daawada 30 bari qofku uu qaadanayo in loo sheego daawada sida uu tahay because bini aadan baa la ilaawi karaa the only pharmacy that does anaga waa tan saddexaad waxa weeye mar qaarkood faamiladu u imaanay waxay leeyihiin vitamina u baahanaa vitaminka cunuga u baahan maxaa weeye waa cunugaaga hadduu intaas sano jiro ama weydkiisu intaas yahay 2 mg ama 1 mg melatonin kuma filnaanayso inaad qaadid ama dhaad melatonin baan qaatay taasi kaligeed wax saameyn badan kuma sameynayso so you have to look at what exactly cunugaaga u baahan yahay ama shakhsiyan ka hadlan u baahan yahay
ما شاء الله سؤالاديدii oo dhawaad kasii jawaabtay laakiin halka aad ka hadlaysay hooyooyinka ama qoysaska Soomaaliyeed ee ana informationka adigu because experience-kii wixii waad soo baratay waad ku takhasustay adigu sidaad ugu soo bixi kartaa maxaanad u qaban kartaa si aan uga dhaadhicino dawadani qof kaliya waxa Axmed qaato hadday muni qaadato waxba ima tari karto qof walba in isaga gaar ahaan historygiisa backgroundkiisa muxuu qaatay muxuu shaqeeyay marka as a pharmacist how can we build that trust because what ogtahay system kani annaka inoo ma samaysna waqtina looma hayo marka how can you show up for the community
and Dr. Muna trust horta waa aad muhiim u yahay haddii aad dhakhtarkaaga ama pharmacy haddaad aadan aaminsaneen qofkan wuxuu kuu sheegayo waxay u badan tahay qofka daawada inuu ka tago waalidkana ilmaha tegargareynaya marka badanaa ilmahan ka hadalnaa laakiin dadku waxaa jira waaweyn oo daaweyn autistic qaata luqadda ugu horeysa to be able to build trust horta waa inay fahantay waxaan ku hadlayo waa inaan ku fahansiin karo markii aad farmashiga timaadid kuma dhahayna daawadan qaado iska tag waan kuu sharaxaynaa oo lagu sheegaya daawadan waxaa loo qaataa saana u qaadanaysaa side effect-keedu waa kana wuxuu badan tahay laga yaabo dhakhtarkii inuu ku yidhi try this see what happens annaga Soomaali haddaan nahay dhaqankaasoo nagu cusub yahay waxaan ka nimid meel oo ah dhakhtarkaad tegaysaa daawa lagu qorin daawada ku daaweysay you're okay caadi baa tahay laakiin haddii lagu yidhaha try this qisa waxaa jira hadda ka hor dhakhtar waxaa jira Harborview ka shaqayn jiray nothing related to autism but waa one of the well known pediatrician waaye wuxuu yidhi Axmed cillad weyn ay haysta maamooyinka Soomaalida because maalin with us we saw wuxuu yidhi the biggest issue is mama is not timid cunugeedaan fiirinay the child has asthma marka afkayga waxaa ka soo baxay I think he might be asthmatic mamadii forget word waxay tiri what do you mean dhakhtar ma tihid miya say how can you say I think because kalmadan dhakhaatiirta waxa weeye you have to diagnose marka hore kadibna ku baraway qofka daawadan uu qaadanayo haddii uu shaqayn weydana ka bedel marka wuxuu yidhi what is the cultural aspect of this so people come from a space whereby the doctor sits away from the patient you come in Somalia waa garanaysin dhakhtarka intuu fadhiya the big miss there baa tagay Soomaali dhowr jeer miss weyn baa meesha yaala xagga qofka fadhiya waa ku dhageysanaya warqad ba ku qoray wuxuu kaliya farmashiga tag he does no explanation ma jiro marka halkan laakiin dhakhtarka waxaa leedahay waqti aad la hadashid waxaa leedahay su'aalaha weydiin kadib always advocate for your child mid baa idiin sheegaya waalidiinta ha moognina mar walba ha u qaadan dhakhtarkaas inuu daneynayo wanaagga cunugaaga ama familkaaga adiga un baa ka shaqayn kara haddana fursad waxaan leenahay a lot of therapists waxaan leenahay services fara badan Soomaalida ay ku leeyihiin halka Washington State Seattle Washington and different organization services bixinayaan ka qayb qaata come to them be part of that process laakiin su'aashada haddaan soo laabto there is not one single keyword at the same time waalidiinta language barrier is one thing luqadda hadaad fahmayn qof luqaddaada fahmaayo u tag oo ha ku fahansiiyo tan labaad waxa weeye iskaashada gruubyada dadka ay ku jiraan dad badan waxaa jira very well organized team waxaa jira Maangaar ka mid yihiin and others utilize those services that are available marka marra waqti badan ku dheeraado haddii wax su'aal qabtiin gadaal waxaa joogta Sauda through Othello Station Pharmacy hadhowti la soo hadla process ka loo maro haddii su'aal ka qabtiin insha Allah
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmed. That was very informative. وحدان صوكو أنت نقولي دكتور أحمد waxa weeyaan afkiina kaga dherga ha ka xishoon inaad su-aal weydiisid ilmahaaga haddaanad adigu u hadlin cid kale uma hadlayso yaa ku maqan adaasu maqan haddaba waxaan ku wareegaya hadda hablaheena maasha allah the therapist we have in the house psychologiga iyar baan dib ku dhigaya because adiga waa lagu baahanaya inaan soo caafimaadnaan soo noqono marka marka waxaan ka bilaabaya labadiinaba bahalkan aan ku dhiibaya insha allah APA dadka ma u jilcin kartaan because waa first line of treatment laakiin APA unbaa dadka lagu leeyahay dhagihii wuu nagu batay haddana ma fahamsanin muxuu yahay maxaad se qabataan
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ABA وحوي Applied Behavior Analysis. وحوي Science كوسابسن and Behavior كا أما السلوك المهير. and وحل إيجيا base المهير مركو يصير هذا عرر أو كله أما وإسديله وحقو مهم سن إنه نفهمه مركو إسديله أما مركو عرريه سببته عرريه ما وحبو دونيا ما عيار بدونيا ما أتنشكا بدونيا إن أقول لا عيارتد ما وحو دونيا ما وحسيسي واحد كتير مثلا قل كاجا رادو صو نظيفي وكعرريا سببت المه سلوكا أما behavior كأسمينيو ببيس لين كنا تعسين ربنا إنه نبصنو سببته هاي كبعدينا وحنو سميننا intervention treatment أما علاج كوسابسن أنس وحلا يراهدو وح behavior كأسميني وحي هاي homework وايل للسماء behavior كيسو وحي هاي إنه عررو consequence كنا محي تهاي محينو نجو كقبانينا ما homework بينو كقادينا مثلا هدينو كقادنا دب أبرنايا ما قرأتي escape مركز سبا behavior كي وسمين دونا ما قرأتين and reinforcement المها أما autism هذا أما autism هان وحيكون شقيان motivation هدي هيان motivation هدي تها عيار كلمة في عن هاجد المها سيريسيد تي في جيد وشيديسيد هذا الفي عند وشيجيسيد وحيقولنا خونيسا motivation إنه واحد كدونيسيد كصباحه ABA I think هدر بريحن واحد شراء and dad badan baa waxay moodaan ABA-gu inuu yahay robotic ilmo yaroo aad kursi fadhiisanaysid aad odhanaysid waxaan qor sheekadu halkaa ku dhammaanayso ABA waxay tahay ilmaha waxaad baraysaa replacement behavior suluuk kale oo cusub oo la doonayo in kor loo qaado ماشي وكعرري دلدي وإسدلي واحد بتاع خوص سلوكاس أما behavior كاس خوص إنه أدقو ما قرأتين and ABA Applied Behavior Analysis وحوكا شقيا المها هذا الكيسة communication وحوكا شقيا social skills سداد conversation وبلابيسا سداد conversation وسيب وذيسا سداد ونمينيسا conversation كي الما أديك كلفلا سداد ولا عياري كرتا عروتين autism انت بدن adults كي جعلي هنا لهاد لان عروت دقدو دقا سفي عن ولا ما عياري كران so behavior analysis وحكو focus قرينيا إن المهي عيارتي لبرو and I think culture كينا نجا كسومالي وحي تهاي عيار ما نقانو المهنا لما عيارنو عيارتنا هداد اكتيد speech therapy وحي راهدان it's the foundation of all skills. وحيبرسا علمه think outside the box. وحيبرسا conversation. وحيبرسا imaginary play إن كوب يرسوق على تتشاها وعلمه يسكدي كوب كيشاه إنه عبيه. Pretend play وحيتهاي very simple easy بيتهاي. But at the end of the day علمه يرى عقلي سيسيدي أكل فريسو و imagination وسمينيو وكسي درايو مركز سبا وأركو أديك reaction كاجي أتكو فرح سنتهاي وكسي درايو so ABA واتاس and next RBT
Thank you. I can have that one.
First of all, say wala iska ahay, so I'm not going to speak Somali. As a, I work primarily at schools, and I primarily work with a lot of kids who are high level behaviors, who deal with aggression and high level self-injurious behaviors. And in our schools, we have a lot of challenges because ABA is not very known with our teachers. They do things a certain way where they're used to gen ed kids, this is the structure and this is how you should follow it. And a lot of our kids, the school it wasn't built for that. They're in a space that they never asked to be in. And a lot of times the challenges that I've seen with our kids going to school is that Ma'alinka is asking a lot of, we call it mans, but it's demands, like, oh, take off your jacket, take off your shoes, back to back to back to back. And waxa arkisin a behavior, whether it's elopement, whether it's aggression, whether it's self-injurious, and then comes the reprimand. Waxa laga qaadaya, they tell them you can't do that, no aba lagu dhahaya. And a lot of times our team comes in and helps educate teachers and staff members and support workers and kind of tell them to take a step back. Sometimes being quiet helps. Like just saying things one time is you know, and just wait for them to respond kind of helps them understand their thoughts. A lot of our kids have a processing delay where they need time to think, and so a lot of it's like right now, do everything right now. So it's very interesting to see me educate the educators in the sense where it's like about ABA and about how to do things in a different light.
I'm gonna make you keep that, mic for a minute.
Okay.
So as you work with our children in the in the school system,
Yes.
and we know the system is not built for
No, it's
us
not.
or with us in their mind. What is some of the challenges that you see from the Somali parents that today you can give them advice and say, this is what I see, hey, and this is what we can do about it. This is how I want you to show up.
Yeah. You know, obviously we have a certain culture that we follow, and daqanan leenahay, and halkan daqanay leeyihiin. From what I've seen is a lot is like the parents are scared to ask questions, are scared to tell what happens at home. And a lot of times our kids struggle in school because the ma'alin doesn't know what happens at home because the parents don't want to share, and they don't trust the teachers. And a lot of times the kid struggles here and the kid struggles here where the teacher uses one strategy and then the parents are using another strategy. And the advice I would give is bridging that gap and understanding that ma'alinka, to be afraid of them is not what we should be doing. Is you should empower your kid and advocate for them and talk to your ma'alin and tell them what strategies work at home, what is safe for your kid. I had a client I was working with, and they would always be soothed with a song, but the teachers did not know, so they would always go into self-injurious behaviors, and they wanted the song, but they couldn't advocate for themselves. So anaga, as parents, we should advocate for them and tell the teachers what they like, what they dislike, maxay jecel yihiin, waxaasoo kale, to bridge the gap between schools and teachers. And when you see your kids do better, you'll see the trust build. You'll see the parents and the teachers work better with your children. So like I would say trust the teachers a little bit more and trust the staff members a little bit more is what I would.
How can the parents connect with the behavioral therapist at school?
So technically, you go to our BCBAs and you talk to the BCBAs.
Okay.
Yeah, but we always like inform.
Chil'i. RBCB. Chil'i. She chil'i. What is that? Say the name.
Our
explain
beloved
it.
sister here.
Yeah, the behavioral therapist. يعني وير chil'i therapist.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
we
So
know.
my job is to directly work with your kids and directly work with the kids and provide therapy for them and provide help them with functional communication, help them with keeping social skills and keeping a self-calming environment and keeping a safe environment. A lot of times, school doesn't seem safe to them. It's a whole new world. So for us, what we do is we create a safe space for them. Wala ayarna. Sometimes we're outside all day long, you know, and we're just playing with them and making sure that they feel safe. And I've seen so many cases where we come in, the teachers are tired, everybody's tired, the parents are tired, and all that kid needed was someone to play with them. And then you see the kid improve, you see them coming back to class, you see their behavior in a leereo, and the way the parents can connect and understand what's going on is through the BCBA, is through the person that is their direct contact would be the BCBA, but we directly tell the BCBA everything that's going on and what's helping their child and what's hurting them.
marka waa inoo sheegtay behavioral therapist-kiina la xidhiidha caruurtiina idinkaa u af ah idinkaa u hadli kara idinkaa yaqaana adduunkan idinkaa keena idinkaa guriga ku haya waa inaad ilmahaaga u hadashid haddaad adigu u hadlin oo aanad u connect garaynin oo aanad share garaynin qof kale ma soo baxayo. As a therapist, how can ilmaha yar si kugu soo gaadha? Who can refer them? What is the long, what is the waiting period and the process haddaad aad noo yar jilcin karaysid?
So waxaan ku bilaabayaa general ABA si aad ilmahaaga ugu qori kartid. And I think Dr. Ahmed iyo Ubax labadaba waxay yidhaahdeen ask questions, su'aal weydii. waxaad qofkaad ku bilaabi kartaa waxa weeye ilmahaaga dhakhtarkiisa. Inagu haddaynu hooyooyin nahay ama waalid nahay waxaa la yidhaahdaa af Soomaali ma garanayno gut feeling. qalbigaagaad ku feel garaynaysaa xiseynaysaa ilmahaagu inuu ilmahaagii waxbaa ka dara waxbaa ka khalada aadan adigu laftaadu aadan gacanta saari karayn. Marka dhakhtarka u gee dhakhtarkaagu ilmahaaga screening buu su'aalo yaryar buu adiga ku weydiinayaa. Su'aalaha ka bacdi waxaad dalban kartaa referral. Inta badan dhakhtarada Washington State waxay ku dirayaan Seattle Children's Hospital ama UW si aad evaluation ilmahaaga laga qaado. Evaluation kaas waxa weeye waa yara process dheer laakiin waa important process. Waxay qaadan kartaa 4 saacadood, maybe sometimes waxay ku dhamayn karaan maalin, sometimes 2 maalmood bay ku dhamaynayaan. Diagnostic evaluation report wuxuu leeyahay criteria, waxyaabo specific oo ku saabsan Washington State. Hadhowto reportka markaad qaadaysid aad u geynaysid insurance company-ga waxay u baahan yihiin inuu reportkaasu to meet that criteria. Ma garateen? Qofka ilmahaaga evaluation ka qaadaya wuxuu ku siinayaa resources ku saabsan ABA companies adiga ku dhow xasab meeshaad adigu degan tahay. Wuxuu ku siinayaa case management insurance-kaaga. Washington State waxay ku fiican tahay most insurance companies waxay leeyihiin case management. Molina Healthcare, United Healthcare, even Kaiser waxay leeyihiin case management. La hadal u sheeg ilmahaygii evaluation baan ka qaaday maxaad u qaban kartaan. Qofka aad la hadashid su'aalo weydii mar kaliya telefoon ha u dirin xiriir waa inaad la yeelataa. Another resource uu dhakhtarku ku siin karaa waxa weeye DDA, Department of Disability Administration. Waxaa jira so many programs and waivers aad ilmahaaga gelin kartid ku saabsan xataa aad inay ilmahaagii IEP hadduu leeyahay way ku raacayaan way kula tegayaan ilmahaagii way difaacayaan haddii iskuulkii uuna siinay servicekiisii u baahan yahay hadday tahay accommodation ilmuhu autism hadduu leeyahay ama any developmental delay usually iskuulku waxay siinayaan mana IEP evaluation accommodation baa loo qorayaa waxaa loo qorayaa speech therapy waxaa loo qorayaa occupational therapy, and marka DDA waa inaad la xidhiidhaa, understand waa inaad fahantaa maxay kuu qaban karaan. Ha ka xishoon luqadda inagu Soomaalideena marmar waxay tahay barrier. Luqaddii banu anigu af Ingiriisi kuma hadlo. Iskeda insurance laftigiisa, the Healthcare Authority of Washington waxay haystaan interpreting services marka ilmahaagaad u geynaysid ABA therapist ay assessment ka qaadayaan, qof bay waxay ku arrange garayn karaan interpreter turjum ku turjumaya ilmahaagii assessment su'aalihii ay ku weydiin lahaa qofkii providerku. Okay? And iskuulka laftigiisa siday u baxtiri ha ka xishoon inaad macallimadda la hadashid. Maanta muxuu sameeyey? Maxaa ku adkaa? Maxaan anigu guriga uga qaban karaa? Special ed teacher waa inaad la hadashaa. And psychologist, please referral baan doonaya the school psychologist ilmahaygii inay aragto, inay evaluation ka qaado. And miyuu heli karaa IEP 504? Maxay tahay accommodationka uu heli karaa? Maxay tahay even behaviorkiisa classka muxuu sameynayaa? Miyuu cararaya, miyuu fadhiisanaya, ma homeworkiisii baa ku adag? Waxay u baahan tahay anigu inaan la shaqeeyo additional information, inaan anigu ka caawiyo waxyaabahaas oo dhan. And ABA providers haddaad doonaysid inaad la xidhiidhid insurance, every insurance company, they are in network. Waxaa jira group of ABA providers ay contract la sameeyaan and authorize it. That kuwaas, especially in those companies, by authorization kasiya. So make sure in that ABA provider at la xiriiraysid inuu yahay authorized to provide services with your insurance. And what else I wanted to say? Yes. So DDA waynu niri, schoolka waynu niri, ABA provider markaad la xiriiraysid, most of the time inagu waalid ahaan qofka ugu horeeya baynu yiraahdaa okay waynu bilaabaynaa serviceska. Anigu waxaan ku oran lahaa su'aalo weydii qofka ilmahaaga la shaqaynaya. The same vision aad adigu ilmahaaga la haysatid miyay hayaan? Same values aad adigu doonaysid miyay hayaan? Make sure qofka ilmahaaga la shaqaynaya in doonayo inuu adiga kula shaqeeyo. ABA ilmihii keliya ma aha. Waxay tahay family program, waa family training, waa parent training. Ilmihii bay la fadhiisanayaan, waalidkii bay la mid garaynayaan. At least once a month waa inay adiga kula kulmaan oo ku yiraahdaan maxaa isbedelay, maxaa dhacay, maxaa ku adag, maxaynu programka ka bedelnaa. And ABA providers or BCBAs waxay sameeyaan data collection bay sameeyaan. So let's say ilmihii wuxuu kala shaqaynayaa inuu hadlo. Markuu hadlo oo kelmad yiraahdo sax baa la siinayaa. Hadduuna hadlin waxaa la siinayaa maybe prompt in ilmihii la saacideeyo kale. Okay? Graph qofkii RBT ubax way taqaana, graph baa la sameynayaa. Graphka waa inaad la socotaa, waa inaad eegtaa. Muxuu maaragtay hadeer manding ama inuu wax dalbado waxaanu ka shaqaynaynay 2 bilood waxba isma bedelin. Maxaa dhacay? Maxaan samayn karaa? Maxaan anigu xaggayga ka caawin karaa? Ilmahaygu ma visual buu u baahan yahay, sawir saacidi kara inuu u hadlo. And talabaad waxa weeye insurance-ku marmar ilmaha autism-ka waa non-verbal, ma hadli karaan. So they're eligible inay helaan communication device. And haddaad ka dalbanaysid insurance-ka waa inaad haysataa medical necessity, waa qof dhakhtara, medical doctor inuu ku qoro ilmahaagii jihaaskaas buu u baahan yahay siduu u hadli karo. Resources baa jira with the community. Iskuulka laftigiisu wuu u qori karaa ilmaha inay u qoraan communicational device. So su'aalo weydii, qof kasta aad aragtid su'aalo weydii. Other parents la xidhiidh, ogow other parents maxay sameeyeen, maxaa u hagaagay, but at the same time understand Dr. Ahmed wuxuu yiri waxa ilmahaaga adiga ilmo kale u hagaagay laga yaabo ilmahaaga maybe uma hagaagi karo. So be open minded. Maybe it will work, maybe it's not going to work. So ask and communicate with everybody around you.
Can we give her a round of applause? su'aaladeedii oo dhan way ka jawaabtay, laakiin waxaan ku soo celcelinayaa muhiimadda ilmaheenna hadduu adigood habar u tahay eedda u tahay jaarkaaga asxaabtaada muhiimaddu waxa weeyaan gacan ku haynta ku noqnoqodka samirka inaad adigu ilmahaaga aanad u arag wax inay ka khaldan yihiin horta kelmadda waan ka daba tegayaa ilmahani waa gaar adigaa lagu keenay aduu ilaahay ku siiye dadka kaa doorbiday waa gift from allah ilaahay marka wuxuu ilaahay ina yidhi khayr oo dhan anaa leh xumaatina adaa samaysta annaka waxbaan qarinaynaa aamus ha sheegin waa lagu caayaya haddaabuu ilaahay ku maneystay oo dadkaba kaa doortay bani aadam yaroo qabriga leeya muxuu kuu sheegay ilmahaaga ka doorbidaan ilmahaaga xoog u noqo waa ammaano ilmahaas waa lagaa xisaabinaya intay hebla aan ka sheekeynayo hebel aan khayrka ku tawaakulin because ilaahay muxuu ina yidhi again qofka qof keliya nooleeya wakaannamaa axya annaasa jamiica kaina dadkii oo dhan caalamkii oo dhan baa joog imagine adigoo ilmahaagii xoojiyey oo nolosha u dhisay oo meelu ka bilaabo iyo adigood caawimaad u noqotay intaad qol ku xiri lahayd ama leed hebel baa dowladdaa soo qaatay doctor axmedow heblaba waad siisay aniga maxaad ii sii weyday miyaad iga eexatay no ilmahaagu wuxuu u baahan yahay adaa og waad garan weyday community baa hadda leenahay dad idiin gacan furan dad waqtigoodii idii horay waxayna la jooga dad maangaar u hadla oo u socda oo nolosha ku nool marka gacmaha isqabsanon caruurteenna noloshooda wax ka bedelna kan aan waxba ka fahmi weynana oo qof kala dhalay farahan uga qaadno qofkaa dhalay ee gacanta ku haya aan soo dhaweyno caruurteenna so anigoo halkaa ku joojinay markaa idhi qofka qof nooleeya noloshoo dhan buu nooleynaya dadkoo dhan ayuu nooleynayaa marka waxaan ku soo noqonayaa Dr. Abshir. Dr. Abshir, how are you?
Dr. Bashir?
Dr. Bashir, Allah, sorry.
It's okay, Dr.
What
Mona.
is it? Yeah, Dr.
It's all good.
إلى الأبين
It's all
اسكيل
good.
هذا Dr. أبين أبين
It's okay. Dr. Avian,
Dr. Bashir رالي
No,
أهو
it's
رالي
okay.
أهو سقط سهوا
You're all good.
دكتور بشير دكتور أبين waxay ku takhasustay iska daa serviceska dadka u qabanaysa as a social worker but she's a psychologist or therapist farxadda dadka naftaada sabta caruur baan korinaynaa waan shaqaynaynaa we have to look normal but what do you think as a Somali community how can we show up not only for the Maangaar families but for the community in general, how can I show up? Anoo ilmo yar haysta, anigoo afkii aana garanayn, anigoo 10 caruuroo kala haysta. How can I take care of myself?
That's a
within
great
all that?
question. Do you mind if I add to Dr. Ahmed's question
Yeah,
from
go ahead.
earlier? And the reason I wanted to delineate this is because I often see this within our community where they are trying to figure out ilmaha inte yani ciladahooda ee isku mid tahay marka waxaan rabay in yara intaan u kala jajabiyo markay noqoto autismka iyo caafimaadka oo somebody like a pharmacist would be providing medications. So autism is a neurobiological differences within the brain. It's the way the person's brain develops. In other words, often you will hear words like neurotypical and neurodivergence. Now, neurodivergence implies that the way the brain developed diverged from what is typical. And what comes with that at times, many of the research shows that people with autism suffer from nutritional issues, sometimes gut issues, right? Sometimes people with autism have ADHD, oftentimes they will have dual diagnoses. And like many of us, people with autism experience depression and anxiety. And depending on the environment in which they are in, sometimes the anxiety might be heightened, right? And so they might need medications for anxiety. Sometimes some kids may have a little bit of a low mood. There's a lot of factors that go into it. Just because a child doesn't have neurotypical development doesn't necessarily mean they don't have real stressors that releases cortisol in their bodies, right? So what I was hearing you say earlier was that when people often talk about medication, I want to really kind of break this down because there is no cure for autism. It's a neurobiological foundation of how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made the individual. And autism, as many of you guys have heard, no two people have the same. They're individuals and have very much individual presentation. And in that different presentation, there'll be ones that present with anxiety, there'll be one that present with ADHD, and in that, waxaa laga yaabaa cunug intii la arko oo cunug maybe one parent way soo dadaasho waxyaalo badan bay soo ogaatay oo he or she figured out a lot of things. Talked to Dr. Ahmed, asked a bunch of questions, and perhaps the child who was extremely dysregulated is now regulated, and there's some ease, and there's a sense of war cunugaaga ta waa u shaqaysee anna taas hal ii soo qoro. Well, they can't. That's what, right? Like, the idea here and what I'm trying to explain here is that every child presents differently. If one child takes anxiety medication and another child has ADHD, one child u shaqeeyo ma shaqeynayo. So also, these are individuals, these are human bodies that have different processes and they deal with a lot of things. So I really wanted to kind of hone in on that because A, there is no cure, and B, like many of us, they experience emotional distress, they experience psychological distress. They may not be able to present it to you or verbalize it to you, but it is our jobs, the professionals, the communities, to really understand their needs so that we can better serve them. So I wanted to answer that just because so can you repeat your question? Sorry guys, I really wanted to make sure I add that part on that one.
waxa meeshan imin laga wada faa'iido no cure ta anu waxa doonaa 10 jeer ku celin because there is some people laga dhaadhiciyay India tag plasmas ku soo shub ilmihii yaraa risk la geeyo dad aanad waxba ka ogaanan gacmaha u gelino dad baa dadka ka iibiya dawooyin kula dawadan soo iibso ilmahaagu biririx طيب biririxtu xagee ka timi so no cure in medicine laakiin symptoms ka ilmaha yar u leeyahay and I'm very thankful you took it to that deep so people repetition imsa qof baa halkan fadhiyo dawo ma jirto laakiin waa gacan ku hayn waa early diagnosis waa shaqo aad u baahan tahay socod aad u baahan tahay inaad qabatid hadduu aabbe yahay iyo hadduu hooyo yahay gacmo maxay wada jir bay wax ku qabtaan so my question is how can we show up first and then what the families can do to detect first that they are stressed out it's too much
to detect it or like
no for us how we can show up but for the families in specific how can they detect that they are under pressure because ayagii waxa yiri maxaa dhariga maxaa dabka ka keenay maxaa daqiiqa ka keenay dabba ay dabay ku jiraan so how can they detect it
so how can they detect it in like how can they detect mental health stuff on their kids or how can they detect
on themselves because hadday hooyadii qarxayso ilmaha yar maxay qaban kartaa
okay
so so how she can detect it and be in touch with herself and what can she do and then the next question.
Yeah. So in terms of showing up, I think as a community, we have to acknowledge that similar to many communities, we are no different. I think markay noqoto anaga community ahaan ceebta iyo dadka waxay dhahayaan kind of like, took over our ability to really have some agency to do what's good for our children. And I think for us to truly show up, I think you have to stand alongside your child and know that none of this really matters. None of who says what matters at the end of the day. And I want to hold and be empathic to my community as well because there's a way in which we all kind of form and be in community, right? And I don't want to necessarily say there's anything wrong with our culture. So there's nothing wrong with us. However, because of generational trauma, because of generational shame, there are instances where things from even hatta diniyan, from a religious standpoint, sometimes it baffles me because I'm always like, if we're a collective that is Muslim, right? And we have these values aligned with how we treat our people with disabilities and our vulnerable individuals. I find it very difficult to believe that we have a community who would ignore that. So then I go back to what gets to the point where we would have this level of lack of awareness and avoidance. Well, it's because of all the big bad things that have happened to us. We have a collective trauma. And when you have collective trauma as a community, you don't necessarily do the things that you do the things that keep you safe, but you're not choosing either. You understand? So you're not choosing to say, يعني, I do not want to have my child seek services, nor do I want my community to see it. No, it's little things that over time has made different individuals in their households feel shame. And so when you feel shame, and I don't know, whatever the case may be, there is this sense that the community dictates your worth, your value. And if we go back from an Islamic standpoint, if most of us, I'm not assuming again, but for the most part, we're a culture that uses Islamic values in terms of how we show up in the world. And so what I would encourage us to do is lean on those values, lean on those traditions that already exist, right? And I would say earlier, prior to my career being at this point, there were a lot of Western ideologies being pushed, right? This idea that we had to be something differently from what we had. And the research shows that that's not true. In fact, when we stick to our existing traditions of healing, of togetherness, of how we help each other, along with evidence-based research and empirical evidence that we are not going to blind ourselves to, then we're able to يعني وحي انت فهمنا. لكن هدي an due to avoidance ما برمنا انت مقلنا. That's another level, you guys. When you have a parent unwilling to recognize their child's diagnoses, I'm not mad at the parent. First of all, I am empathize with the parent because it's a level of pain that their brain and their system cannot bring themselves to. So I don't sit there and say there's something wrong with that parent. I actually, my heart goes out to that parent. And so what we need to do as a community is that now, since we know and we're being more educated, how do we show up for our collective? Whether I used to say, even if somebody is sitting next to you and they use a derogatory term to describe a mental illness or disability, check them gently and kindly, right? Because when you start thinking about the languages that we use to describe the vulnerable individuals and mental health, then you will have people who are not going to talk about it. You're going to have people who are feeling shame. However, I think this movement is amazing, especially with the Maangaar voices. Way to go, girlies. I love what you guys are doing and what's happening here in Seattle. But this is, you guys, this is the result of choosing to not, put things under the rug. This is the result of saying, and it's been the case in my career. I have probably people looking at me like their eyes are looking at other places because they can't believe we're talking about suicidality and mental health and depression, right? But why? Do you guys ever just stop and why? Because here's my argument. وانا قبل آذن من ينمية. Do you get it? No, literally, I'm Swedino. Or بلا آذن من ينمية, right? مسكح والله إنها and stress one darena banankas wili stress can double whammy anaganahay. Why? Because we deal with socio-political issues related to racism. We are Muslims, we are black, we are Somali. So it's such a disservice. Do you get it? It's such a disservice. Because we are more prone and we are more vulnerable to psychological issues because of our generational trauma. Yet we are the first ones to deny ourselves of that humanity. Subhanallah. So.
horta aad baad u mahadsantihiin maanta halkan aan isugu nimi waxay caddeyn u tahay inuu communitygeeni xataa isbedelayo aqoonteeni isbedelayso yani ogolaanshaheeni isbedelayo soma waxaa yidhi was'aluu ahla aldikri in kuntum laa taclamuun marka qof ilaahay wuxuuna siiyey dadkeeniyo ka shaqeynaya oo ka hadlaya is just inaan isqabsanno oo aan isu ogolaanno give each other the space so we can thrive together. aad baan idinku mahadcelinayaa Dr. Ahmed, Dr. Abyan, therapist ubax cali waan garanaya iyo Zainab Warsame. aad baan idinku mahadcelinayaa ilaahay idka jazaasiyo waqtigiina and welcome to Seattle. Thank you so much. waa anigoo Dr. Muna idile habeen wanaagsan aad baad ugu mahadsantihiin aad nasiiseen the stage to present this information to the community. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, ladies. Welcome to Seattle, Washington. I'm so glad the weather cooperated because our weather can be finicky. She is hostile sometimes. But I'm so proud of our city for welcoming you guys and for you guys making the journey. I'm gonna give you guys, you've met Dr. Abian a little while ago, but these ladies have done amazing work at Maangaar Voices. But I have a little bit of a controversy that I wanna state. I remember this was a long time ago, and I was in the middle of traveling at the time, so I wasn't very active in the clubhouse conversation. But I remember when the name was coming up, I wanna give my flowers to Anisa Haji. Anisa Haji Mohammed went above and beyond. She started, I think, and I mean this, all of us have been doing advocacy and so much work, but I want to talk about the fact that, doing work is doing work, but bringing people together is a special skill. And I think Anisa has that. She has that skill of making things happen. I think she's a do-it kind of woman. She says it and she does it. A lot of people, I am a great thinker. I have so many ideas, but I'm never finisher. Anissa finishes what she starts. She has inspired me in so many ways, in coming through for the work, in following up, in being a good friend. A good organizer, an intersectional organizer. So I want to thank you, Anisa. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so when people say the name Maangaar came up with Dr. Ajwa, I say Anisa was 80% of the work. I say Anisa came up with the idea, and I think she fine-tuned it. And I love Dr. Ajwa, believe me. But we have to say what we have to say. Thank you so much for all the work you do, Anisa.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It was a collective effort. Thank you.
Yes, it's a collective effort, of course, always it is, but we want to make sure that, we are saying what we're saying and we're correct. So Alhamdulillah, I want to ask each one of you guys the work you do in Minneapolis, and I don't think you guys do work in Minneapolis only, you do it all over Minnesota. You guys all come from like weird little suburbs, I never understand them, Bloomington, Rochester, Apple Valley, but the work you guys do brings your community together, and now it has brought our community with you guys because you guys invited us to your event and we've learned so much, and now we are sharing the same things you guys have shared with your community with us because you were willing to not only teach us, but you've shared so much of your information with me, so thank you. Why did you guys start Maangaar? Why did each one of you guys join the Maangaar community, and how has it impacted your life?
Assalamu alaikum, y'all. Magacayga waxaa la dhahaa Idil Ahmed. I'm part of Maangaar Voices board, and I'm gonna try inaan Soomaali ku hadlo intaan Ingiriis wadi lahaa. Maxaa la yiraahdaa anigu hooyo baan ahay, 3 ciyaal baan leeyahay, gabadheedii ugu yar oo hadda 6 jeer ku socoto baa Maangaar ah. Marka maxaa la yiraahdaa reer Minnesota ka ahay, weliga xag soo koray, ana xag soo koray, wax ku bartay. Marka Allah musta'aan waxaa dhacday aniga gabadheeda markay dhalatay ana daral wax xanuustay maskaxiyan kusbaar xun baa igu dhacday. By the time aan ka soo kacay gabadheeda sanad bay ku dhaweyd, and waxaan arkay gabadheeda inay ka duwantay labada ciyaal kale ka waaweyn, inay sheekadu iyo marxaladdu isku mid ahayn oo waxyaalo badan oo blame and aniga saaray tusaale ahaan xilligii pandemic dhalatay, pandemic miya, TV-ga miya, muxuu yahay dhakhtarkay leeyihiin TV badan bay daawatay, dismiss lagu sameeyey, ana xataa agana may, even though xaq ma ahayn inaan ku compare garay ilmaha kaleeto, laakiin anaha ilmahayga labadeeda kaleeto baan waxaan ku bilaabay inaan comparison ku sameeyo. على كل حاجة شكله سعودي مركي جودة سنة قاعدة مالها سوح الصلاة في حيري ما يشكله وحبا قصن وحبا كذا قدرك حلوين بح صانقه مركي سنة برجعدو سنة بركي عذرتي بعد عايز فندمك سحنا دعاء كدي بوحنا شكله سبا ولا سبا خالدن الحمد لله بلما فاين لقب سنة شك دكتور كفير أوكي وانو كذا واحد شيء نسيت مركي ورا مرة منا نكون آمنة because ولمت أد يريد comparison بعد سمين نسيان حقول أنا comparison كلمة سمين لكن والد بان هون كذا ilmaha يجينا ومش خالدين wax kama qanya shaqadan dhisnayn. Marka xilligii waxaan bilaabay alxamdulillah anigu waan caafimaaday in iyadii xoog aan saaro pandemic lagu jiro xilligaas oo ogeydeen dhakhtarin ma jirin mental health ma jirin ABM wax walba xaxeed waxa lagu leeyahay wax walba telehealth waxa racuniga aniga bi fadhiisanayeen oo 2 seconds ila halaynin oo fiirinaynin oo xataa aqoonsanan seeban telehealth ugu sameeya ama psychologist appointment ama ugu sameeya speech ama ugu sameeya alxamdulillah markii 2 sano ku dhaweyd ban finally speech buu wuxuu ugu reeyay helnay waan wadnay AB day treatment waxa la dhahaa jirto AB wax yar ka duwan taasaan ku bilaabay kas gabadheeda yar iyadu mayna maxaa la yidhahdaa mayna jeclayn dadka inay la dhaqanto waa social anxiety bay qabtay calaa kulli xaal saa sheekada u wada keligay baan ahaa community Soomaaliya ma arkin because qof walba tiisu u qarsoonaa anigana markaa dad gaala cadaan dadkaasaan dhex galay markaa ani waxay iga ahayd marka waxaan baro waxaadan aqoonin ama war ka haynin ma dhex geli kartid marka researchka samee meel kastaan galay meel kastaan soo qoday waxaan ogaaday hal qof oo A to Z wax ku sheegayo inaan jirin qolo walba keeda bas ay taqaanaa speech therapist kooda bas yaqaanaan AVA kooda bas yaqaanaan dhakhtarkii main provider markaas waan waray anigana personally I'm a neurodivergent myself so marka waxaan taaganahay aawayay dadkii laga rabay inay wax walba ku saxaan kuna sheegaan kuna fahansiiyaan maxay tahay marxaladaanayto ilaa xanuun maaha wixii cudur maaha dawo ma laha maanta baxo dhakhtar aad ma dhihi karo dawo isii maanta haddaan xanuusta waxay u dhacay hargab igu dhacay asmay u kacdo dawa lii soo qoraya waan caafimaadaya bata waa marxalad waa maskaxdii baa waxay u shaqaynaysaa si aan ilmaheen dadkeena kale isku mid lama aha soo marka anoo meesha iska wareersan oo dee taydii i haysato baa alxamdulilah programkan meeshan aadaynay baa Soomaaliya oo kale ku bartay ani dadkii baan kumid samsan laakiin xoogayga muxuu ahaa gaalada ku dhex jiray gaaladina still wax ku siinayo ma jirto all the information maanta waxaan ogaaday ma jirto organization siba annaga dadkeena ah oo A to Z wax ku sameynayso oo haddana aniga dhibka ugu weyn ee qabsadana waxay ahayd waxaan ka xanaaqay ama ka xumaaday xanaaqmay ka xumaaday communitygeena inaan haysano ilmo badan oo maangaar ah haddana ayn jirin dad ama meel aan gacan ka raadsano ama caawitaan ka raadsano marka ani markaan fiiriye dad gabdhahana dib aan iska baran doonaa isma naqaano marka waxaa yidhi sheekadan waxbaa khaldan saansi ma aha and mind you anigu Minneapolis kuma dhalan laakiin nolosheeda 80% ka badan baan joogay soo marka waxaan taaganahay aawe dadkii xaggeen la aaday maxaan sameeyaa xaggeen u baxaa waxna qofna waxay ma sameynin marka alxamdulilah waan fiiriyey gaalada xataa laftirkooda waan arkay qolo wax ku sheegsanan jirin ana marka iska wareersan baa waxaan bilaabay inaan documentations ka samaysto waxayga anigu aan bilaabay A to Z at least waxaan fahmi karo to this day weli waan baranaya waxaan weli aan dhihi karo maanta waxaas A to Z baan idin hayaa ma jirto weli waan baranaynaa ba waxay ahayd slowly communityga Soomaalida ku soo yar noqday markaan gabadheedu xoogaa indhaha igu furmatay saaxiibo aan dad hore mar hore kala go'go'nay iyo by the way markii lagu leeyahay markii ilmahaygu ama gabadheedu ama ilmahan kaleeto ee marxaladahan ku jiraanaba adigaba marxalad weyn baad galaysaa hooyo ahaan aaba ahaan maskaxiyan wax weyn baad iska bedelay shift weyn baad jirkaa ku dhacayso marka aniga maxay ahayd I was so focused on her iyo ilmahay kaleeto but mainly her I felt like most of my effort went into her yadan ku mashquulay ilmahay kaleetana waan ka mashquulay laakiin iyagana xoogaa dhinacoodan kaga mashquulsanaa mind you na badanaa waalidiinta oo ilmaha maangaarka leh badanaa waan shaqaynaa 8 to 5 baan shaqeeyaa just like everyone else so marka sheekadii baan markaan fahmi ilaa alxamdulilah anoo yaaban oo dee dadkayga inta anoo aan aqaana keli caawinayo aniguna is caawinayo on wixii information soo helan aan soo garbanayo unbaa maalin khayr qabto baa group hiking xijaab ladhahan ku jirnaa annaga waan haygarayna waan soconaa maxaa la yihahdaa ban aniisi gabar kale saaxiibanahan oo hore isku naqaanay ku kulannay this was 2024 July and I was like I love this woman like everything I wanted like her and I just clicked immediately I was like she's talking I'm like that's and then she's like she didn't even know I was a Maangaar mom at the moment and I'm like this is what I want the other mom who was hosting is also a Maangaar mom I'm like I'm telling Anissa I'm like Anissa I need A to Z and she's like that's what I've been trying to create that's what we've been doing and from there on well I just became one thing after another farxiya igu xigtay maana cause that we grew up together Dr. B so alhamdulillah that's aniga my maxaa la hada my history too it was like waxaan weligay rabay waxa dadaan weligay rabay ahaayeen wixiina finally baan iyada waxaan helay la diyaarinayo halkii ma kala qabsaday markaa sorry Soomaaliga aad uma sii fiicna
Mashallah, that was amazing, Edel. Thank you so much. Okay, you beat me to it though. You beat me to it. Okay. I was going to start off with saying I'm say wallahi and I'm going to talk English, but I'm not because horta Somali bana hay number 1. Number 2 waxaan qaadanaya class or actually Somali speaking. So I'm going to make my teachers proud. Okay? Six. Magacayga waa Anisa Haji Mohammed. Okay, marka hore waxaan rabaa inaan ku bilaabo. horta alxamdulilah inaan magaaladan maasha allah quruxda badan imaanay oo maasha allah reer Seattle si fiican bay noo soo dhaweeyeen runtii ubax Fadumo, Hamza, mashallah, dad aad aan u jecelnahay waaye. Aniga runtii waxaan rabay inaan dhaho horta inaan ka bilaabo noloshayda Soomaali ma la korin. Waxaan ku koray magaalo la dhaho Fresno, California. Waa tuulo like St. Cloud. Tuulo yar waaye oo 500 oo kun oo dad baa ku nool. Markaas you know waddanka ku cusubnahay Tennessee baan wax yar joognay. We're like nope, Tennessee, no, we're out of here. California baa u soo guurnay. Fresno, California waxaan joognay عبار okay عبار aan joognay 17 years so markii hore Soomaali badana degnaa laakiin sanadka bacdi way ka carareen you know ma sha Allah way fikirayeen waxay dhaheen Minneapolis anaadina Seattle anaadina Ohio abu wuxuu dhahay meeshan baa joogeena okay so Fresno California waxaa ku noolaa annaka iyo 2 qoys oo kale Soomaali noloshayda dhanna saas bay ahayd ilaa aan jaamacad galay so aniga Soomaali ma la korin runtii laakiin Soomaali sida u jecelahay Ilaahay baa og dhaqankayga iyo luuqadeydana sida u jecelahay Ilaahay baa og waxaan rabaana inaan dhaho runtii taariikh aad ay muhiim tahay familyna iyo dadka ka soo jeedo qabyaalad qoran waaye laakiin adiga like aabaha iyo hooyada qabyaaladaas qoran aabaha iyo hooyada iyo ayeyda iyo awowga runtii markaan fikiray waxaan dhahay aniga waxaan ka soo jeedaa hal awow oo abwaan ahaa oo caan ma sha Allah ahaa and gabaygiisa gabayadiisa dadku isku keeni jiray يا قبيلة واحد سؤال قال لي شو at the time مركز عادي بأهد لكن وحلوجو أوجا إنه قبيلة أو like مهمة إنه تريو أو كسب سندتك إنه يسكو إمادان إنه يشجع هذا دين توكهلي جري أوجي كلنا الله ونحرسه لبضو ضنا ما قعدوا حوها محمد عمر just عجيب محمد عمر لبضو على ده جري الله ونحرسه so أوجي كلا أبيهس وحوها الشيخ الأزهر بوأذي ما شاء الله وحو يقاني تدبل قضاء or Somali is the one who actually the ugulito basically Arabic بيقاني Italian بيقاني so waxaan odhan waxaan u dhahayaa markaan fikiray waxaan is dhahay Anisa gabdhahana way yaqaanaan Dr. Abian kulli waan you know waan la hadli jiray waxaan dhihi jiray aniga leader ma ihi no I'm qof caadi baan ahay waxaan soo saaray gabdhaha waxay dhaheen Anisa adigu waxaad tahay gabadha soo saartay kalsooni cards kalsoonigaadana inaad dhisid waaye inaad dhahdid anaa sameeyey aniga waxaan ahay leader communitygayga inaad voicekaada qaadatid inaad ku faraxdid inaad ku faantid so aniga waxaan is dhahay runtii iskuulka markaan aadayay waxaan bartay cilmiga luuqadaha linguistics bachelor's iyo master's labada waan ku qaatay waxaan u galay fieldkaasna waxaa waye luqadaha aad aan u jecelahay markaan yaraa anaa isbaray sidaan Soomaali qoro iyo sidaan u akhriyo anaa isbaray hadalkayga iyo little jab waaye laakiin waan dhisaya hadda caadi waaye you know waan dhisaya hadda alxamdulillah laakiin waxaan is dhahay Anisa you know adiga waxaa raacday the path oo awowayaasha ay sameeyeen midna luuqadaha uu ku badnaa uu ku fiicnaa uu ku takhasusay kalena dadku iska keeni jiray alxamdulillah so sheekadan oo dheer waxaan u sheegay maangaar markaan soo saaraynay ubax Hamza Dr. Abian Faduma dad badan ba isku imaaday waa pandemic dhexdiis cidla lagu jiraa guryaha lagu xiran yahay and everyone cabsi baa jira dad badan dhimanay it was a really hard time and laakiin anaka waxaan sameynay waxaan dhahnay community baan rabnaa inaan dhisno so online intaan isku imaano maalin kasta waxaan ka sheekeyn jirnay mental depression maxaa la dhahaa Dr. Abian maanta waxaan ka hadlaynaa anxiety ama walwal dadka way nala yaabeen like dadkan maxaa ka khaldan markasta waxay ka hadlayaan mental health autism dadka communitygana sidee u dhisnaa communitygana sidee u bedelnaa anigana maalin waxaan fiirinaya Facebook iyo Instagram waxaan arkay waddanka New Zealand dadkooda Maori people la dhahaa dadkooda waa Maori wallahi aad u jecelahay dadkaas so waxaan arkay inay ayaga soo saareen erey oo lagu tilmaamo autism and hal erey bas ma ahayn 200 erey soo saareen oo mental health iyo autism iyo substance use disorders because nin oo ka tirsan community-gooda wuxuu dhahay annaka ma haysano ereyo oo positive ah oo aan autism ka hadalno iyo mental health ka hadalno 200 oo erey uu soo saaray 200 wuxuu la shaqeeyay dadka like odayaasha community-giisa iyo dadka luqadaha ku fiican 200 erey uu soo saaray anigana waxaan isdhahay annagana waan soo saari karnaa annagana waan soo saari karnaa absolutely in adeeg Somali adeeg hadda samayn kartay aniga waan samayn karaa you know and markaas waxaan isdhahay okay family-gayga ubax iyo muna iyo waa isku yeeray waxaan dhahay okay you guys inaan soo saarno waa erey aan ku tilmaamno autism ilmahan markaas waa la caayaa waxa la damiin waa doqon waa waxba ma garanayo ma hadlo ba ay basa laga buuxiyo ilmaheena waa maxaa loo caayaa ilaahay baa abuuray ilaahay baa na siiyay ilaahay baa nagu nimceeyay inuu na siiyo ilmo oo jannada toos u galayo bilaa xisaab waa wax lagu faano actually ilmaheena waa children of Jannah ilmihii jannada waaye idinka inaa naga maseertaan waaye honestly inaa naga maseertaan waaye because annaka laga yaabaa inshallah inaan jannada toos u galno too okay dad barakaysan baan nahay masha Allah so waxaan u baahannahay luqadda inaan bedelno wax positive so Hamza ubax iyo kulli waxaan ku dhahay and autism and Maori people waxay dhaheen waxay soo saareen erey taki watanga haddii la macneeyo la fasiro waxaa laga wadaa in his or her own space or time waa cunug ka socdo waqtigiisa iyo boundarieskiisa iyo wuxuu asaga jecel yahay siduu asaga u fikiro autism intaas bas un waaye autism si khalada loo fahmay it's just adiga sida maxaa la dhahaa adduunyada u aragtid way ka duwan tahay dadka kale intaas bas xitaa aamusnaanta hadal la'aanta sometimes wax gooni waaye autism laakiin haddii la fiiriyo waa socialka inuu kugu adag yahay behaviorskaada sometimes inay adag yihiin iyo maxaa la dhahaa maskaxdaada sida ay u shaqayso sida Dr. Ibn tiri is different so waxaan dhahay Hamza unique mind waaye waxaan ka hadlayno wiil la dhaho Boudary Warsame oo Sweden degan oo masha Allah buugag badan qoray he's an editor wuxuu dhahay ani waxaan soo saaray erey la dhaho mangoni laakiin mangoni markii la fiiriyo gooni ma fiicno gooni ilmaheena gooni ma rabna inaan ka dhigno negative waaye so ani waxaan dhahay unique mind aan ka dhigno markaasu Hussein iyo Boudary intay soo shaqeeyeen Maangaar baan ku heshiinay so Maangaar 2021kii markaasuu soo baxay oo aan soo saarnay and that's yes so I aad ugu faraxsanahay gabdho fiican baan masha Allah bartay and also wiilal fiican there's a lot of abuyin fiican Maxameda kamid ah Hamza kamid ah Dr. Abdi Samad baa kamid ah okay masha Allah oo abuyin badan oo dadaalaya runtii oh masha Allah are role models for us anigana macalinkayga waa Hamza Maxamed waa macalinkaygii and runtii anaga waxaan dhahaynaa siyaara waa inspire gareynay anaga waxay u sameeyeen this Fatima iyo Hamza ayaga horeeyay iyo Maxamed in this field ayaka waxay haystaan ilmo oo ilmahayga ka weyn cunugayga ugu weyn ka saddexda ilmo aan haysta alxamdulillah they're autistic cunugayga curudka 9 sano jira Hamza 21-year-old okay asaga meeqa sano ka shaqeynaya oo ku daalay ku rafaaday inuu community-ga soo jiido oo dhaho autism wax xun ma aha but alxamdulillah waxa bedelay runtii inaan keenay waaye positive language and that's it thank you Amasatin
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mana Sharif. I am a mom to 2 Maangaar boys. Yeah.
Yes.
I have 3 kids, ma'am. I'm a mom to 2 Maangaar boys. From the beginning, I'm actually not from Minnesota, but because of a community, I moved to Minnesota. So with that, that's where Maangaar Voices were created.
She is also on TikTok, Somali Latino, because her children are, mashallah, half Puerto Rican. And she does so much work in our community. She's shy. Follow her, Somali Latino on TikTok.
Hello, salam alaikum. My name is Farhia, and I have two Maangaar boys. And I found Anissa randomly at a community healing session. We had a baby that died, and I showed up, and I couldn't stop crying. Not because of what happened, because Qatar Allah, I was crying because there were Somali people talking about autism in a positive way. There were Somali people talking about mental health. There were Somali people actually saying these words out loud. So you can imagine, Farhia, drama queen, I couldn't stop crying. So the whole room kept coming up to me, and I was just like, it's not about me. I just was so happy because I found in Maangaar Voices somewhere I belong. I always fit in the American crowd. I grew up in Minnesota, so I was always putting myself in spaces where my children could benefit from, right? I was in with those ladies. I'm talking like a whole bunch of people that did not look like me, and I'm sitting there collecting information because I needed it for my kids. So with the tragedy that happened with their baby that passed away, that drowned and passed away, I literally found Anissa. I found Idil, Mana, Kosar, Dr. B, I've known for a very long time, mashallah, tabarakallah. So that is how I came to Maangaar Voices, just a person who was not part of her community because I needed to find resources and how to take care of my kids. A big tragedy happened in Minnesota. I showed up, I found everyone, and I have not left. Thank you.
She's being very humble. She's the queen of gluten-free sambusas, you guys. Let me just plug our beautiful sister. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Kosar Abdurrashid. I am a Maangaar mama to a handsome little boy named Mahir Khalif. He's my 6-year-old, and my son is very unique because he's autistic and ADHD. Allahumma barik, I am a licensed educator, and I will tell you guys a fun fact. As a licensed educator, I did not recognize the signs of autism in my child. My husband actually recognized it. And at the age of 2, my son started regressing super badly. And I was in grad school trying to become a licensed principal, which I am, alhamdulillah. I'm an EL teacher. I'm an EL teacher, and I'm a reading teacher as well. High school is my crew. I love high schoolers, Allahumma barik. However, working in spaces of color as a teacher of color, right? You recognize the barriers that the education system holds. I'm just gonna be super honest. And my son, we got the ADHD diagnosis because he was impulsive, and Gala that they kept labeling as aggression. And as a mother, that triggered me so bad because in the education system, once you label a Black boy as aggression, that label follows him throughout. And for me, I went into a functional depression, you guys, and I'm gonna be so honest with you. That shut me down. And then I took him to the locations that they say, it's the best in the state. St. David's, Minnetonka, the best of the best, 1968 Alfred agency, guys, okay? And they have a whole, sorry, it's gonna be a little bit long, I'm sorry. Long story short, you guys, my sweetheart, my sweet, sweet boy got labeled aggressive. The spaces that are saying, we are the best, bring your children, that are benefiting from my child, that's benefiting from my child, that's making money off of my child, is labeling my child as aggressive and is not supporting him, and actually suggested we leave and go somewhere else. I did that. Same thing happened again, okay? So I had to sit down with myself and I had to recognize the fact that I love what I do in education. It's my heart and soul, but I have to choose my son, because he's my #1 priority. So alhamdulillah, I work for the Minnesota Primary Education as Social Emotional Learning Specialist. That didn't work out for me either, subhanAllah, because it was not flexible. And I took a break, and my heart and soul told me, Kausare, you need something. You are in the education field. You know what to do, but why can't you do it? Something's holding you back. And what was holding me back is I didn't have a community. My sister is a special ed director, Allahumma barik, one of the few licensed Somali directors and special directors in Minnesota. She is my heart and my soul. However, she will never understand me because she's not a Maangaar mama or a Maangaar parent. I have another older sister that has a Maangaar child, but my sister deals with mental health herself. So ayada ma icaawin karto, ayada caawitaan u baahan, right? So I was just in a very, very like stagnant space. And as parents, we can understand that you go through levels of depression and you have to go through the process. And for me, I was grieving, and it wasn't the grieving because my son lacked thereof, it was because of the labels that were placed on my child that I needed to fight back against. And I recognized I needed a community. I recognized that I needed people in spaces that really, really understood where I was coming from. This job, you cannot do kaliya. You can't. Me and my husband, Warafad, Allahumma barik, bless that man. Wallahi, without him, I wouldn't have recognized that my son is autistic, and I'm a licensed educator. I literally provide IEP services in the schools to students, and I accommodate. I said, how did I miss it? Right? Subhanallah, I can't go into a self-blame. Allahumma barik though, last year, I was very brutally honest with my really good sister. Saadia Mohammed, she works for the Department of Education as a public engagement specialist, and she told me, Naya, there's a whole entire community of Maangaar voices la dhaho, dhexgal, gabdhahaas, be involved with them. Maalin walba, waxay ku tiri maalin walba waa nacnacalaynaysaa. You say you need community, laakiin community adaa ka cararaysid. Go to them. And this girl, this beautiful girl, Idil Mohammed, this is my sister, okay, you guys. Me and her had a really honest conversation, and she was like, "Na idigeyso dhagaha furo." Waxay tiri, "Waxa ka hadlaysaa, we are providing it, so na soo dhexgal." But you guys, I come from trauma. Because I am very protective of my prince. That's my heart and my soul. And our beautiful friend Mariam Khair said the most beautiful thing, and I really want to share with all you guys. She called them our little people of Jannah. Because Jannah is not easy to obtain. Jannah, you have to work hard. I'm shaking, okay? So Jannah is not easy to obtain. Jannah is not easy. This journey is not easy. But what makes it easy is when you got people that know and understand and can really communicate. And it's basically, when I joined them, you see this beautiful woman right here? I cried because the therapy was trying to push my son out. And I said to them, you guys, this is what I'm dealing with. This is my situation. I never cry in public, you guys. And I said, what is going on? And and I said, they're labeling my son as aggressive. And this beautiful soul sitting next to me, by the way, Wellness Wednesdays, they're not plugging in, they're being very, very cordial. Every single Wednesday on Zoom, you can log in, they have healing circles for us mothers. So I'm telling you guys, you will not regret it. But let me tell you guys, this beautiful soul named Dr. Elmi Bashir, what she said. She was the first provider. My son was in therapies for 4 years. She was the first provider that said, why are they calling it aggression? It's maladaptive behaviors. And I said, huh? Then she shared this beautiful story with me. She said, my son, she said there was a student that I worked with, and when I worked with that student, the kid hit me, and that scared the rest of the RBTs in the program. RBTs are registered behavior technicians, by the way. In education, we have a million of acronyms. I really don't cry in public, you guys, but Mahid is my heart and soul. Yes, okay, so.
By the way, that kid was my daughter.
Daughter. We noticed it was Nasteha, her beautiful daughter, Allahumma barik. But Dr. Ebin Bashir looked at me and she said, why do they call it aggression? It's maladaptive behaviors. 4 years, my son is going to the top places that are $1 million industries. $1 million, in Minnesota, we know that they make a lot of money because it's in Minnetonka, you guys. Minnetonka, Hawaii, a white dominant space that sells $1 million homes.
Bellevue.
And then they have a whole entire section of the park. So you can only imagine, this beautiful woman sitting next to me, she said, I had to train all of my staff because they became scared of the child. And I had to do a restorative healing with them and explain to them that we do not blame the child. This child is trying to communicate something, and when that child is trying to communicate, We have to understand. That's our jobs. We need to understand the functions of behavior and the ABCs. And I sat down and I explained that to them, and now my students and my RBTs understand this. So we are not afraid of aggression. We're not afraid of maladaptive behaviors. And Allahumma barik, this beautiful soul sitting next to me, my son, I pulled him out of the best in Minnesota. My son also goes to a charter school called Sparrow Academy. Sparrow Academy, if you guys live in Minnesota, I'm gonna plug you guys, okay? I don't gatekeep. If you know anybody that's 4 years old right now that has an autistic child, tell them to put them in the lottery for next school year, because if they do not get into kindergarten, it's going to be very difficult to get in. The school specializes in special needs services and is one of the best in the state of Minnesota. And every single person in that space knows about autism because it's a shurut. And for them, their policies and procedures does that. But alhamdulillah, Mahir, I pulled him out, I brought him here. So in education, we highly focus on culture responsive practices, right? As an EL teacher, as a Somali educator, I had to bring my identity and my values and things into my curriculum, right? And I understood after that conversation with Dr. B, we call her Dr. B, by the way, Ebian, I understood that therapies are not built for our children. It's made for the white child to make them accommodate to what the white standards are. So I was like, okay, waxaan waxaa ka qaldan, sax ma aha. Ilmahana, they need people that look like them, that understand them. My son has been going to therapies for 4 years, you guys. 2 weeks ago, this beautiful soul, Dr. Abin Bashir, sent me a Eid Mubarak. That is the first time I got an Eid Mubarak message from a therapy center. That goes to say that our children need people that look like us in those spaces. And alhamdulillah, next month, in 2 weeks, I'm actually starting my BCBA program. Thank you. We really need to bridge the gap of lack of culture responsive programming, because our children, without their identity, without their values, and without their upbringing, it's not fair. He deserves to be at a duksi.
Kausar, I'm gonna cut you off, but
Okay,
like
perfect.
Somali Latina, who I just followed, who has
Somali
thousands of
Latina, yes, go
followers,
ahead.
you need to have your own TikTok because the information is fire.
My-
Gold.
I, I am like Hamza's wife. If you find me, you find me.
Yes.
Okay, Abdirashid, This is the only time I'm doing this because they forced me. I don't do public situations like this, Mr. Mayor.
We
But
thank
ala kulli
you,
hal,
wallahi.
our babies need us and we need them just as much. I've learned so much things from my beautiful child. I thought I was patient because I taught high schoolers. That requires a lot of patience. But the patience that Mahir taught me, wallahi, it's out of this world. So yeah, that goes to say our babies, they deserve everything in this world. And we should accommodate that because they deserve access to every single thing. And these humble humans did not tell you guys we're starting a special needs duksi in Minnesota.
What? That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's all.
That's
Salam
amazing.
The only thing I want to add, I'm not going to say much, you guys. So Anissa and I were friends. In fact, Anissa reached out to me when I started Let's Talk Healing and wanted to do all my graphics because she wanted to support this new clinic that I'm starting. But nevertheless,
She's a
we've got
doer.
acquainted that way. And after a while, eventually she brought her kiddos over. And the part I want to add to all of this is, as I was working with Maangaar moms, I think the thing that you and I, in passing, it would be conversations after conversations. And at some point we landed on, I need to do something for the mamas. We have to do something for the mamas. And so that conversation about understanding what the moms are up against, because we're treating their kids and we can see what they're up against. However, I'm not seeing the mamas get the help. So part of our conversation and how Wednesday Wellness started was I wanted to give to the community without them worrying about insurance, fill out this paperwork, do this thing. I just said, listen, it's not therapy. It's just support group. It's a support group. Let's just get together. And from there, hopefully we can get them connected to mental health services. Then it started to even get more even complex. You guys started having workshops for parents to have resources. I was a previous social worker, so ideas were coming in. Hey, you should meet with this person, and then now they have like a WhatsApp group, they have a Snapchat group, and I share every Wednesdays with them. But throughout this whole experience, they've found a sisterhood that not only supports each other from a standpoint of like walal tinimo and from a sisterhood, but their lived experience. One will help another one with the kids. They'll go out together. They have events. And so, long story short, what I felt like vacations, clearly we're all here with you guys right now, but this conversation and my intentions for Wednesday Wellness wasn't really even about focusing on the children.
No.
My focus on Wednesday, oh, and Fatima, I forgot. Wait, I met Fatima there too. Okay, I met Fatima. I love her so much.
You
Anyways,
guys
but
can
that's how
contact
Fatima.
me if you want to join Maangaar Moms.
Yes.
I mean the Wellness Wednesday.
Yeah.
I will connect you guys. I have
Yes,
the hookup.
please do. But that's also how I got connected.
Wednesday.
Yes, and that's how I got connected to Fatima and got to even learn more of her work. And I was like, and all these women are professionals and Maangaar moms. So I was like, you guys, we're a freaking powerhouse. We are a powerhouse. Can you imagine how much we can do? And we have been doing great. I mean, imagine this is also an extension from that wellness. But my intentions for Wellness Wednesdays was to move from thinking about the children to how do we build capacity for you mamas? How do we encourage you to create that space between your internals so that you can better support your child and advocating for them and having your ammo essentially, right? I would always say, like, do you have your stuff to be prepared to go to the school? But also, do you have what you need to be able to have that capacity? So my place was just, how am I gonna take care of them so that they can take care of their kids?
Thank you so. Thank you guys so much. Let's say thank you to the Maangaar Voices. Thank you coming all the way from Minneapolis. So we're gonna have the sibling panel, Ijabo, Asma, and Faiza. Woo! Come on up, guys.
Okay, we're ready. Okay, we're pressing on time. So Salanta hanod dambeso. The hugs are not dambeyo. Okay. Yeah, I know we haven't seen each other in ages, but I know, yeah, we're gonna be hugging after the event. That's okay. But I just want to make real quick before we jump into the next panel. I wanted to mention something very important, just to basically reiterate what they say, which is very important, especially when it comes to our community. We're dealing with a lot of stigma. I've been fighting stigma for the last 10 years. I'm among the first fathers who shared his son publicly and told the world the only way others will start telling their stories is when we start telling our own stories. It's very important for us to speak up, to be proud of our kids, and just to be along them. I've learned so much about autism and just being a better person, a better father, just for my son. Because he taught me patience, something that I never had. Now, we have, it's unfortunate we had a missing child maybe about a month ago. This is the second child we've gone through. And what we learned from that is, this is a family we didn't know about. And trust me, if Hamza doesn't know about you, nobody knows about you. If you're in the autism community and I don't know about you, and this is a family that lived 2 minutes away from me. 2 minutes, literally, I could walk over to their house. But you know what? We can't blame the fathers, the mothers, we can't blame the parents. We have to look within ourselves. As a community, did we give a side eye when that child had a meltdown? Did we whisper and say, what's wrong with that child? So these families are always in hiding. for fear of what the community is going to say about them, for fear of how they're going to be judged. So before we help these parents, how about we help ourselves first? Let's start with ourselves, because it's very important. I had a father who his brother called me and they say, hey, my nephew has autism, but the father is not open. He's still in denial. He's not open to seek help, to ask for help. I said, give me his number. I don't know him, but just give me his number. So I called him. When I called him, I remember very well he said, yeah, my son had autism, but he's fine now. In Somali, he said, Ukabok Sabi. I said, Muhammad Ba. Maharga Ba. So let's hold ourselves accountable as a community. If you see something, say something. If you see a family struggling, a family in hiding, they're in hiding because the silence is more safer than speaking out. So we have to reach out to them and tell them, listen, let's help this family. And real quick, I see my wife is already sneaking out because she knows I'm going to put her on a spotlight. Where's Khadra? Oh, I know. Once I got the mic, she had to walk out. Yeah, she basically, I just wanted to say everything I know about autism is because of her. She's, Khadra, come here. Come here. I see you. Hey, anything. I know she hates the spotlight. And the whole week she's been telling me, don't put me on the spotlight. But let me just say one thing. She's a wealth of information. She knows more about autism than some of the doctors that are trying to help her son. She's done so much research that sometimes I sit down and just listen in awe of what she knows. So this community, baby, they want to learn from you too. We don't want to hide you. But one thing I can assure you, she'll never come to you. So you have to look for her. She's in always her comfort zone. If you come to her one-on-one, she will help. Trust me. She'll figure what's wrong with the God's child. She'll figure with what's wrong with you as a parent. What are you doing wrong? So we always need to seek. For me, she's my professor. She knows what she's doing. So baby, I'm sorry I put you on the spot. I just want the world to know who you are. Just say a word.
All right, Assalamu alaikum. A lot of amazing faces. MashaAllah. Oh my, as you can see, oh my God, I'm nervous. He just put me on spot. Marka, I'm such an introvert. He's an extrovert, as you can tell. See?
No, get close to the mic.
Hello. Yeah, okay. Okay, he just put me on the spot. I wasn't planning to speak on the stage. Again, my name is Hamdi Abdi, Hamza's wife. I have a son, a 22-year-old son with autism, my first child. He's my world, he's my everything. And it's been one hell of a ride from when he was born up until now. And so really, I'm a mom who's doing my absolute level best to help my child. I mean, from the get-go, he was a colic child. He was picky, he wasn't sleeping. And so, like I said, it's one hell of a ride. I was just really trying to figure out, I know that autism, when he was about 2.5 years old, but it's been a journey, honestly. And wallahi, if I don't have the time right now to really go into everything, you can reach out to me. Anybody who's, who wants to know what I did, you can please feel free to reach out to me. But it's been really difficult. But where we are today, we're good. We're good. Thank you.
Let's
All right.
bring in the
Thank
Maangaar.
you. Thank you.
Yes.
Now,
We're
back
gonna
to our business.
we're gonna watch a video,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna have the Maangaar voices come in.
You say that.
Assalamu alaikum. Good to be back. Good to be back. The Shah is here now, finally. So if you want to do that a little, right now we have very few things left. We have the Maangaar voices. Alhamdulillah, we're gonna watch a quick video, and then we're gonna ask the ladies some questions to inspire us, to tell us the work they've been doing, because I don't believe the work can be done in silos. Their work inspired us. Our work, they came all the way here. So thank you so much, Maangaar Voices from Minneapolis, Minnesota. So we're gonna play the video, and then we're gonna have a quick one. Then we'll have the sibling panel, very quick, and then the parent panel. We'll close, alhamdulillah, with closing remarks and a dua, just for all of our safety and our health. So get ready. We're gonna dim the lights a little. Let's do this. Assalamu alaikum, girls. Faiza, Asma, Ijabo. I want to say thank you so much for coming, for giving us this opportunity to speak to all three of you guys. I wanted to have a brother as well, but the brothers were shy. The sisters always come through, though. I want you guys to introduce yourselves, and then tell me if you're the older sibling or the younger sibling of autistic kids, okay?
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Faisal Sheikh Mohammed. Oh, okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I'm a modest fashion brand owner of Nora Collection. I'm also a certified behavior therapist. Thank you. I am the oldest out of 6 kids. I have 2 brothers who are on the spectrum. I have a 22-year-old brother who is verbal and pretty independent, and I have a 12-year-old brother who's nonverbal. So that's just a little background.
My name is Asma Ahmed. I have one older brother, and I have 5 younger siblings, and I have my brother Ahmed, who's nonverbal. Yeah. He's 6 years old.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ijabo. I am the oldest of 6, and the second child is Mahad, who gave the speech earlier. MashaAllah. And I am 26 years old. So yeah, that is me and Mahad being right next to each other. We like are the closest in age, right? MashaAllah.
I'm staying with you, Ijabo. Thank you. Staying with you, Ijabo, and having Mahad here with us today, with whom we have all met. In what ways has your special needs or autistic brother shaped your life? How has he changed some of your values and how you live and you experience the world as a sister of someone who's neurodivergent?
It's funny because I've been thinking about this for a couple of years, and when you're young and you have a sibling who gets a lot of attention, right? For reasons beyond their control, and they need that, right? You don't quite understand why that is. And so for the longest time, I'm ashamed to admit, but I did have a chip on my shoulder. I was like, oh, this person gets a lot of grace and attention and mercy. Why don't I get that? Why do I have all this pressure, right? As the oldest sibling, the oldest sister, right? And then it wasn't until years later that I realized, oh, I have ADHD. Like that would that explain. So but that's a whole other conversation. And it wasn't until I started doing more of that research and getting into more of that journey that I realized that there's a lot of grace that I don't give others and myself. And having an autistic sibling, you realize that there is a lot of mercy that you can give to both yourself and to others. And as I grew up, and now that I'm 26, I'm realizing like this is not a bad thing, right? Especially watching Mahad, mashallah, grow up from this little boy who wanted to play by himself or was like seemingly different, and you don't have the words to put to why, to now giving all of these kinds of speeches that I've seen multiple times now, mashallah. And it's inspiring, and it makes you think like, if someone who has all of these difficulties, quote unquote, like, and challenges can do that, then like why can't you? So mashallah, that is, patience and confidence and perseverance, I think, are huge things that you learn from having autistic siblings.
Amazing. Thank you. Asma, you're the youngest here, and your brother is also the littlest. Can you tell me about your brother, while still respecting his privacy, but tell me about him in the ways you love him? What's so fun about him? Describe him to me and the ways he makes you happy.
So my brother Ahmed, he's like a really fun person. He's like he although like he doesn't have siblings as much like as his age, he likes to play around with my brothers a lot. He sometimes he gets their attention by like doing something to annoy them and stuff like that. But but they all do love him, and like they do mess around with him sometimes too. Um he loves his cousins and his daycare. He loves them too. Um, he likes school a lot. Like when the bus is there, he would always be like, bus, bus. And even on Saturday and Sunday, he would get his backpack and stuff on and be like, go in front of the door and ask where the bus is. Um, and although he doesn't speak as much, he still understands a lot. And he like sometimes I'm actually shocked of how much he understands. And yeah, well, that's a bit about Ahmed and how our life is.
Amazing, amazing. Faiza, from growing up with two autistic siblings, now you work with autistic siblings. How do you manage, at home, autistic siblings, at work, autistic people? And then, of course, being a founder of business, how do you manage all that? But on top of it, tell me why you went in this field and how that has impacted you. How does the love of people who are autistic changed your life?
So when I was working as a certified behavior technician, I took a break a little bit because it is overwhelming.
Yes.
It's a lot. So what I noticed is when I first started working there, it was at a school called Academy Precision Learning, which is at University District. And I just got into it because I knew like I needed to learn more about my brothers. I have two brothers. I'm the oldest, so I want to understand them better, understand what ABA therapy is. So when I got there, wallahi, it was so eye-opening because I was like, why doesn't our communities like know more about this? Like the classroom literally had a teacher, a behavior therapist, a BCBA, and then they would have like two clients. So the children were getting a lot of support. And I remember every day I would come home from work and be like, Hoyo, did you know about this school? Were you aware of these things? And she was like, yeah, but like it's kind of hard to get into them. It's a private school, so it's either referral from Seattle School District or like you have the money to pay for it. So so it was really stressful working there and then coming home. So I just took a break from that. And I really am like, right now, I'm just trying to like help my mom find therapies for my brother who is nonverbal. He's 12 years old. He does not speak at all, but he still communicates with us in different ways. So like he literally knows how to like skip YouTube ads and like play on the iPad, and like he knows so many things, and like if you give him the phone, he knows how to hang up the calls. So right now we're in the process of trying to find him speech therapy and get him using an AAC device.
Yes.
So
Let me not interrupt you, but Prevail
Yeah.
does that work.
Yeah, I was just talking to them
Yes.
earlier. Yeah. Yeah.
They do. Not only do they give iPads away, which is not the goal, but they teach you how to use the iPad. You can bring the rest of your family to learn how to do the iPad. amazing work Prevail does. Please get some paperwork for anybody whose child needs another way of speaking, another way of communicating. Prevail does that.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, tell me a little bit if you can share it.
So AAC device is like it's a app or a device that displays like different pictures, words, and you have to like kind of teach them first with the binder. I would say like when I was working as a certified behavior therapist, I would like show them the card and then I'll put it down, have them pick out like a display of three, array of three, where they pick out what it is. So it's like a way for children to communicate with you. And yeah, so it's really important to use. And if you are like an older sister or brother of a child, I mean of a sibling, I would say tell your parents about it. You know, get them involved. Because my mom, she didn't understand. So when I came home, I would like always try to communicate that with my parents and my dad. And I'm like, this really works. It's not just the iPad. Like they're not just like, you know, like just picking pictures and stuff. It's a way for them to communicate with us. So I feel like it's really important.
That's amazing. Wallah, thank you so much. I'm going to add a little bit about AAC devices. AAC devices are augmentative and alternative communication. It means just another way of communicating, not just mouth words, right? They have tools, systems, strategies. A lot of the time they use apps now. Everything is advanced. PECs are so old school. We're now in iPads and other devices. They're not always on iPads. They can be hard to use, but I can tell you, we have used it and it's amazing. So if you have any more questions, I have the connect with Prevail, and they're right there now. So I want to thank you guys so much for being here. I think I have an autistic son, and my two daughters, who are his sisters, we've had to learn a lot from each other. So thank you so much for being here today.
Of course.
Faisa,
Yeah, thank
Asma,
you
and
for
Jabo.
inviting me.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys. Thank you guys. I'm gonna let Coach Ubah, a wellness and health coach, introduce herself. But what you're looking at right now are four of parents themselves, not only parents of neurodivergent children, but neurodivergent people themselves. Not only parents of neurodivergent children who are neurodivergent people, but people who are amazing parents, people who do the work, people who walk the walk, people who I admire. And these are some of my best and favorite mentors. There's writers here, there's people with 6 different degrees. I can't even tell you who they are because it's so amazing. We have people who live and breathe autism. So we have Uba, who's here, who's moderating, who is a wellness coach. Her whole job is to support families, and that's why we've brought her. This isn't so much about children, but the parents themselves. Thank you, Uba.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Assalamu ya damantin. Thank you for Elmi Foundation for putting this together. MashaAllah. Waa ku mahadsantihiin inay isu kaya keenteen oo soo abaabuseen. Teamka waxay sameeyeen shaqo culus. Waan ku faraxsanahay. Maangaar family oo ayagana inta nooga yimid Minnesota. Dhammaantiin waa mahadsantihiin MashaAllah. Su'aalaha waxaan u maleynayaa waqtiga ciriir nagu ah dartood waan soo yara koobi doonaa insha Allah. Waxaan ku bilaabayaa Abaya Sahra Siraat oo ah not only hooyo Maangaar hooyo, but waxay tahay author. She is qoraaga buuggan oo aad wax badan oo macluumaad ka heli kartaan. Unspoken brilliant. So marka insha Allah ka warqaba iibsada support gareeya wakaasa wax badan ka faa'iideysan insha Allah. Waa mahadsan tahay Sahra hooyo Maangaar hooyo oo ma aha hadda kow ilmo yar oo hadda ama aha oo ilmo weyn haysata oo way kala duwan yihiin. Waan ognahay Maangaarka carruurta iyadoo mid walba ilaahay siduu u sameeyay oo gooni ah oo unique ah ayuu yahay. So laba isku mid ma jirto. So hooyo soo korisay ilaa ay adult uu yahay. Maxay yihiin waxyaabaha aad nala wadaagi karto oran kartid waxbaan ka bartay hooyo intaasoo sano u soo advocate gareynaysa cunugeeda oo ay community kale Maangaar families ka faa'iidi karaan.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here and kulligiinba waa mahadsantihiin. Xaqiiqdii waxaan haystaa 2 ilmood oo labadaba kala duwan. And each one they're unique. Waxaan leeyahay wiil autistic. He is 25 years old. And wuxuu ahaa markaan wax yar buuggaa ka heli doontaan, laakiin markaan wax yar idiin kormaro wuxuu ahaa in speech delay. Haddana mataqaanaa dhaqdhaqaaq badan nagu lahaa. However, waqti badan ay ugu qaadatay aniga laftirkayga hooyooyinka inta jooga dhammaan waxaan rabaa inaan la wadaago it's okay cunugaaga in uu ahaado unique it's okay to be a different waxaa laga yaabaa maalinta marka uu hor leeyahay oo ilmuhu uu yar yahay in aa isdhahdo caqabadan ma ka gudbi doontaa. There was a lot of questions I have with the doctors, educator, and a lot of people. At my time, measuring Maangaar or Somali community, or even a lot of information now we can research. Waqtigaygii. But I'm glad today in aad jaanisyadan aad haysataan. And maadaama uu waqtiga uu yar yahay, saddex arrimood kaliya ayaan idinkala wadaagayaa. Midda koowaad oo ah waxyaabaha ii shaqeeyay oo laga yaabo qaarkiin inay u shaqeeyaan. Midda koowaad oo ah love iyo in aad accept garayso adiga hooyada ah. Adiga nafsadaada inaad accept garayso ee cunugaaga waxa uu marayo inaad accept garayso. Midda labaad idinla wadaagayo waxay tahay as ay dhammaan walaalahay waxaan u malaysaa markay wada hadlayeen I don't have to repeat it in aad tahay Soomaali inaad tahay madow inaad tahay Muslim and always in underestimate wax walbo talaabo walbo oo aad qaado ay kugu dhici karto. Marka midaas waxaa oga gudbi kartaan in aan waxa laga yaabaa inaad ka heshaan buugayga dhexdiisa ama story sheekooyinkayga dhexdooda ilaa iyo inaan ka istaagay 12 IEB meeting oo aan disagree gareeyay. Sababtoo ah inankayga wuxuu ahaa meelaha qaarkood aad ayuu mataqaanaa ugu sareeyay. Reer Washington waa wada taqaanaan Khalid Siraat qaar ka mid ah wada arkay. Meelaha qaarkood aad ugu sareeyay meelaha qaarkoodna wuxuu u baahnaa caawinaad ayuu u baahnaa. Marka waxaan u rabay school high academic ah oo ah in college prep ah markii uu ahaa in middle school. Marka caqabad badan baan ka maray iyo underestimation fara badan iyo in la idhaho hooyo adiga wax kale ku fakaraysaa oo uusan inankaaga uusan ahayn. Laakiin alxamdulillah today anoo idiin soo gaabinaya sheekada wuxuu ahaa speech delay to public speaker ayuu noqday. Wuxuu ahaa underestimate to overachiever ayuu ahaa. Hadda wuxuu diyaarinayaa his master degree ayuu diyaarinayaa. Waxyaabo badanna waa self advocate waxyaabo badan ayuu qabtaa. Marka anoon idinku dheeraanin waxaan u wada baahannahay dhammaanteen samir calool adayg maalin adag way ku soo maraysaa maalinaad ilin ay kaa dhacdo way ku soo maraysaa maalin lagu fahmi waayo way ku soo maraysaa laakiin haddana in aad u dhabar adeegto oo aad isku daydo as much as he can not adiga only waxa aad rabto waxa uu awoodo inaad figure out garayso ogaatana inuu markaan hadda sidan idin leeyahay ilmo waliba waa unique inaad waqtigiisa iyo qaabadiisa iyo siduu wax u baran karo iyo waxa aad u qaban karto inaad ogaato ayaa muhiim ah. aad iyo aad baa u mahadsantihiin.
Maasha Allah tabaaraka Allah. Waa mahadsan tahay intaanan kaas gudbin adigoo noo soo koobaya waxaan rabaa inaad wax yar nooga sheegtid muhiimadda oo sensoryga uu leeyahay. I know inaad adigu ku haysatid khibrad badan.
Different hats ayaan xirtay nursing massage therapy education mar walba lifeka meel buu ku geynayaa anigoo marka maxaa igu kalifay for taking for a courses and to become a massage medical in aan noqdo to understand inantayda waxaan leeyahay gabar haysataa ADHD sensoryna haysataa to better understand and also inaan fahmo sida aan wax ugu qaban karo sensorygeeda marka anoon ku dheeraanaynin sensoryga wuxuu leeyahay qaybo fara badan research badanna waan ku sameeyay clinical research waana la igala shaqaynayaa wali haba ahaatee waxaan wada ognahay skinka inuu yahay organka jirkeena ugu weyn marka ilmuhu markuu sensory haysto iyadoo cuntadii geli karta iyadoo crowdedkii geli karta iyo maqalkii ay geli karta haddana as infant markuu ilmaha uu yahay ma ogin waxa uu yahay ma naqaano inuu ADHD haysto ma naqaano inuu autism haysto we don't know so do the doctors marka arrintaasna waan idinla wadaagayaa screen bay ka qaadaan but markaas idina ma expect garaynayso marka waxaa dhacday inay inantaydii dharkii qaar diido iska ooyeysaa dhakhtarkii baan tagaa waan kusoo laabtaa waan sii laabtaa waan soo laabtaa doesn't have no answer beautiful child healthy maxaa si ka ah su-aal la isweydiiyey ayay noqotay marka raadintii aan taa raadinayay ayaa waxay keentay in aan waxaan hayay dhan gadaal u dhigo koorsooyin cusub qaato aan barto maxaa la yidhaahdaa massage therapy how it does help maadaama uu yahay wixii skinkii maadaama uu yahay inaan barto dharkeedii what kind of clothes work for her what kind of oil work for her what maxaa triggerayna marka as a baby markii aan kusoo bilaaway ayaa hadda waxaan jeclaystay inaan communitygana aan la wadaago for that sensory of very important u ah cunugii haddii aadan sensoryga fahmin waxyaabo badan oo kale oo laga yaabo inayna ka qaldanayn baa laga yaabaa in uu label u helo because haday galaaskii fariisato waa waxaa samaynayo crowdedkii baa dhibaya haddii ay funaanadii xirato ma concentrate garayn karto waa inay dhaqdhaqaaqdaa marka dhaqdhaqaaqan ma behavior buu ka imanayaa xaguu ka imanayaa marka taa ayaa mataqaanaa igu kaliftay in aan barto oo waalidkan hadda halka arrinay aan la wadaagayo waxay tahay ilmahaaga fiiri qaabku u seexdo qaabku wax u cuno iyo maxaa tigir garaynaya fiiri waa adiga laftirkaaga hooyadu ayadaaba dhakhtar ah amnaad credit kama qaadayo educationka iyo waxay soo barteen dhaqaatiirta laakiin hooyada ayadaa waxay og tahay funaanada maanta ka bedeshay markaa ku celiso berrito maxaa isbedelay just look for the behavior for the child uu samaynaya muxuu samaynayaa maxaa tigirgaray maxaa ka ooysiyey maxaa ka careeyey arrimahaas oo dhan marka taas ayaa waxaan u keenay in ay tahay arrin weyn oo u baahan iyadana mar walba inaan ogaano ilmaha ADHD-ga autism-ka iyo other disorders kale oo jira oo yeelan kara sensoryga noocyadiisa badan
maasha allah thank you so much aad u mahadsan tahay akhbaar aad iyo aad maaragtay macluumaad aad u badan baad la wadaagtay walaalaha waa kaaga mahad celinayaa su-aasheeda kaleeto waxay ku socotaa xamza brother xamza oo loo yaqaan nephew xamza maasha allah wax badan oo dadku way ku yaqaanaan oo de waxaan hadda kaaga sheego kaleeto ma leh laakiin su-aasheeda waxa weeyaan aabe horta in yar waxaa iiga sheegta intaan su-aasheeda gelin harmony living services maxaa kugu dhaliyey inaad aad furto ama samayso organizationkaas
okay hortaas assalamu alaikum as you know I think I'm the only oldest Somali who can speak good who can speak good Somali لكن markan hadlay dadkan markan la sheekaysanayo af Soomaaliga ugu fiican yahay dhibaatada waxa weeyaan marka microphone-ka la igu soo dhigo markaas ay sheekadu xumaanaysa but anyways to go back to your question how many living services I got into this field because I was really passionate about the world of disability. I've gone through so much try to understand, and especially the journey that I went through. As a father, the first 4 years, I was basically, I won't say fully denial, but I wasn't kind of sold of autism. Because I couldn't even spell autism. I didn't know what it was. And this was like back in when my son was about 2 years old. Back then, not a lot of families had autism. So basically going through the ringer, try to understand, trying to figure things out. Then while in this field, when I really got really passionate about autism, and I felt every time I speak to, when someone talks about autism, I'm all ears. When I see a family in dealing with issues, but anyways, to go back to your question, because I'm in a run. How many living services is basically because I know exactly what these families are going through.
Right.
We have so many families today, let's say single mothers, who have a son on the spectrum, haven't been to a vacation for more than 20 years, haven't left their house. They can't go nowhere because they can't trust anybody with their child. How will they be able to help my son? I am Esha Chirta. So in that case, I figured how about, and the more I came to learn about supported living, agency of dealing with people with disability to support them fully. I want to thank two people who are in this room. I want to thank Umi, who introduced me to this world. And told me, Hamza, you're so passionate about this. You talk about this all the time. There are these services that you could get and help a lot of Somali families. Because at the end of the day is, I want these people to see me and feel it's relatable. Because Manta Mama Somalia didn't adan arakto. Ilmahayga kuma siinayo. So we always have to figure out from how can we relate to these families? How can they relate to us? Culturally, religiously, so it makes it much, much easier to get into the business. But the other person that I want to really thank, who got me, who was my mentor, helped me a lot from this crutch, was always a phone call away. I was so stressed out starting and trying to figure out things on the fly. Is that amazing woman right there, Amal? Amal was all there. So yeah, I mean, these are the two people that really got me going. And the more I got to know my clients, the more I started building my clientele. And basically right now is hopefully soon we have a Somali coming in on board. Because with Somali, all it takes is one. Once you, because that child, when they get into to be an adult, then they're ready to have independent living. So with Somalis is once one child goes into the system, you got your son into the system, we're swada again. And for us is to save these families to understand, listen, you don't have to die alone. We're here for you.
Thank you so much. waxaan ogaa su-aashaasayto inaan wax badan oo aan rabay inaan uu noo sheego aan ka dhex helayno midda kale waxaan rabaa inaa ogaatiin imise qof baa markay igala hadlaan maangaar family waxaan dhahaa kool xamza asaa u gudbiyaa asagaa iga khibrad roon qofka khibradda roon la hadla marka waxaan u malaynaya aniga waxaan ku jiraa dadka dad badan intaan ku xawilay uu yiri maalin dambe ha ii soo dirin dad oo iga badisay ma u malayn inaan ku jiro but anyway masha Allah thank you Hamza for all you do waa kugu faraxsannahay su-aasheeda kaleeto waxa ay ku socotaa waxa muna u gudbiyaa dan waxaan kusoo noqonayaa maxamed mona hooyo professional ah adult maangaar child haysato soo korisay la soo martay juhdiga iyo dadaalka sideebaa isugu dheeli tirtay inaad ahaato hooyo korinaysa oo wax alla waxay u baahan yahay ilmahaas siinaysa haddana ah professional see isugu dheeli tirtay oo hooyooyinka yaryar oo hadda rabaan inay ayagana ayagoo professionkooda haysta haddana noqdaan hooyada ugu wanaagsan ee maangaar child korin karta so seebaa isugu dheeli tirtay
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum kulligeen. So before I catch you su'aashada, I wanna inaan ku yiraahdo thank you. The Maangaar voices, my beautiful girls from Minnesota. You guys are amazing. And I wanted to say one thing. When I was raising my child, he's 22, mashallah, had a group of women, like the way you guys are very close, I would be the happiest mom on the planet. So, hats off to you. Keep up the good work. And the all young moms who's struggling, please reach out to them. If you, no matter where in the States, Africa, America, Europe, anywhere in the world, they're always online. They're always ready to help. So that's my first. Second question, waxaad i weydiisay sideen isugu xidhaa ilmahan, my 22-year-old. By the way, I'm looking for him for a girl. He's very handsome. The way I balanced it, mashallah, I have an amazing, supportive husband. Without him, I wouldn't be here. Without him, I could not have raised. It takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a very strong husband and partner on your side to help you get through the tough time. In this field or this Maangaar, I don't call them autistic anymore. I scrapped that out of my vocabulary. It's all Maangaar.
Yes.
So the way I deal with it is, first of all, I have a support. I also have a great family who I can lean on to. I started it leaving the professional job that I have. I moved into, I didn't go to the office, I'll stay work at home. they allow me to work from home. So that's one thing that make it easier for me. I will advise the parents, the young moms, please don't take it so stressful. This journey, it was meant for God. We didn't choose for it. We're very special. That's what I call ourselves. We're special moms. Okay? So take it one day at a time. The other thing that I will say, do not shelter the kids so much. As a Somali mom, and now I'm a professional, I'm a provider, I tell the parents, do not overprotect them. They're not gonna break. They're not fragile. Throw them every single way you can be. You're their voice, be that voice. But don't make other people be uncomfortable. For this kid cannot do this, I can't take him to the park. He cannot be part of a league. My child used to carry water for his basketball, for his American football team in his high school. I want him to be part of that team. He cannot be part of the team because he wasn't capable of. But you know what he's capable of? Carrying that water. He was a water boy. So I put him to be a water boy. And when it comes to job, when he was turned 14, you know what he was? He was putting mulch into the parks. That's a job. Is he capable of being at the McDonald's where his teenager friends were working? No. Can he do the mulch and have a group of friends? Yes. So don't protect them too much. Whether they're a boy or a girl. As Somali culture, we seem to have this, take them apart. Like, she's a girl, she can't do this. He's a boy, he shouldn't be doing this. No. I have 3 kiddos. They all have the same chores. If he's a Maangaar, guess what? He's still going to be doing the dishes. He's still going to be cooking his day.
Well done.
So make sure that you as a young moms, don't baby them too much. And now with my professional, sorry, I'm taking a bit too long. I tell the parents, because we have a parent training. As a Somali mom, I'm always training. I'm always telling the parents, do this, don't do this. I don't. I always ask them, how can I help you? I never tell them, this is what he needs to do this week. No, I said, what do you have a hard time this week? Because the kids, our beautiful kids are most amazing kids, the most smartest. They know how to act at home versus when they're at the center.
That's right.
So if they telling you he's acting up at the center, guess what? They're telling the truth. Because at the centers, they have a one-on-one. Somebody's always with them. They're little angels. At home, mom is busy. She's not always looking after them. She has other kids. So to make long story short, my only advice for mom of 22 years old, please don't baby them too much. Please, though, our kids are smart. They're smarter than other ones. Make them stronger. Make them part of the community. And one thing, we're all not going to be here. They might outlast us. You want them to be part of the society that they're living with. You want them to understand. You want them to go out and get a job and be a normal. Ilaah baa qoray. Ilaah baa u sameeyey. Ilaah baa og meeshay noloshoodu tagayso. Meeshay bari ahaan. We don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to be leaving out of this room. But one thing I know, if I leave out of this world, he knows how to make a pasta. He knows how to get a job. At least I'm finishing one cent of my work. Sorry, I didn't
It's okay. Thank you so much. And aad umahadsan tahay. And Abaya waxay nooga timid all the way from Minnesota. So marti weeyaan, soo dhawow. Masha Allah, Maangaar family. And su-aasha ugu dambaysa waxa weeyaan walaalkay Maxamed. Maxamed waxa waay long time. Dadka wuxuu ka mid yahay the Maangaar, dadkii oo isku dubariday oo groupkaaseeto oo looga soo shaqeeyay sheekada meesha ka dhacaysay uu qayb ka ahaa. So he's one of the Maangaar founders uu ku jira asagana masha Allah teamkii uu ka mid yahay. And Maxamed aabe oo ka shaqeeya dibadda oo nacam travel gareeya oo shaqadiisu ay tahay inuu meelo kala duwan tago. Maxaa weeye sida ugu fiican oo aabayaal waxaan leenahay Soomaaliya oo travel driver ah oo ka shaqeynin magaalooyin kale u safra because waa inay qutulyoonka raadiyaan. So seebaa aabba adigoo ah oo mar walba safra aad u noqon kartaa aabbaha ugu fiican oo cunugaagina aa uga warqabtid oo wixii lagaaga baahan yahay u samaysid ama aad la joogtid ama adoo maqan maxaa seedaa u samaysaata arrintaas
waa mahadsantahay wax dhammaantiinna waa mahadsantiin dadka way wada hadleen wax badan oo la sheegay أنا هرتا واحد كانت كندا كيما سو مالسو كنديان سو سومالي كنديان أبو أو مارتي مرة بشقديسا مرة بكحينس وحو شقيا مارتي إذا ماذا بدأ سو مرة بمارتي ميلا الإجرا مرن واجوغا like مر كان جوغو حان سميا ميهي like أبو أو مارتي كقطرسن سيدا حمزة أو كلا أبياش السوما like وحاسكو ديا هدا هايستور لابد دقيقة عمل أو كلا تعونو labadaa daqiiqo inaa qiimo u yeelo maaragtay ma dhihi maanta maaragtay haddii dhahaan ninac maa la cunaayo waxaan dhahaa ninacaa la cuno badanaa ilmaha ayagaa ku barayaan saa waalid u naqanaysid so haddii ku dhaho cunugaaga ma garanaysaa ma ii dhegaysatid ama maaragta waa igu qaylisaa ogow inaad ku qaylisid anaga haddaanahay maaragtay dad dhibaatooyin iyo calaad soo maray ma helin waalidnimo ku salaysan sida dadka reer galbeedka oo nolol fiican haystaan oo maaragtay cunto haystaan guryo haystaan ammaan haystaan mar kastana waxaa ogaataa nolosha inta hadday adag tahay meel kale ka adagaa jirto ani maaragtay waa ogtiin wax ka dhacay Palestine 6 biloodaan jooga ma garanaysaa Lebanon iyo u dhaxaysa Suuriya xuduudooda oo peacekeeping aan sameynayn so waa soo arkay dadkaas Soomaaliya waa soo arkay dadkeena way gaajaysan yihiin cunto ma haystaan marka ilmahaaga la joogtid nolosha way adag tahay laakiin haddana jecel haysataa jecelka lacag la'aan waaye maanta haddii oo maaragtay aniga cunugeyga sida Kawthar oo kale maahir la dhahaa waa 12 jira 6 bilood markuu jiray aan ogaanay inuu maaragtay wax ka duwan yahay ani sidoo kaleeto anoo weyn ma garanaysa ogaaday inaan maaragtay aan qabo ADHD saas tahayna one faction garaadis 10 sano waxaan shaqeynay booliisaha 10 sano kaleeto ma garanaysa military ka shaqeynay macallin waa soo marka wax walba waa sameyn kartaa waxay u baahan tahay inaa maaragtay aad jecel ah heshid dadkii maanta jooga talaabo isbixiyeen way aragnimo way sheegteen xamza sidoo kaleeto xamza dadka aad u jecel ku jira iyo waxya so marka aniga wax cusub midin sheegay kaliya waxa waaye wax walba jecel u muhiimsan ilmahaaga maaragtay way ku jecel yihiin adigana waa jeceshahay ceeb ma jirto qof kasto ceeb waa qabaa qof kasto oo maanta maaragtay inta fadhiyo wax uu ku faani karin aad jirto oo maaragtay dadka ka qarinayo so marka cunug oo maaragtay oo testig ah maaragtay haddii lagaaga dhigo cunugaaga autistic waayo wuxuu yahay so marka adiha ogolaanin because jaceelka gurigu ka bilowdaa so cunugaaga markuu article waxaa aqrinaya maalin dhexdaas cunuga ilmaha disability-ga qabaan sida iskuulka ugu labisay subax markay aadayaan way saameynaysaa sida loo arkaayo haddaa cunuga maahin markuu iskuulkaada bootaya ma maro xili jirnay saa like haddaa aragtay maanta anoo hooyadeen waxay dhihi jirtay cunto fiican haddaa soo cuntay baasti hilib soo cuntid oo dharkaa jejeexay ama wasaqaysan yahay ma lagu ogaana laakiin haddaa baahan tahay oo dharkaaga nadiif yahay dadku waxay ku dhahayaan oo qofkaan magarana qof wanaagsan waay marka haddii jeer maaragtay ilmaha maaragtay naafada waa si gooni loo eegayaa maaragtay markay dabaalanayaan markay hadlaayaan bulshadeena waa bulsho maaragtay ableist waay waxay rabaan qof walbaba maaragtay normka oo neurotypical inaad lagu la sameeyo ha ka ogolaanina spacekina abuurna waayo maaragtay spacekan waa abuurnay space kalena abuurna waaye dadkeena maaragtay dad waxaan ka imaanay maaragtay society oo jaban waaye kulligeen waa jabanahay maskaxiyan maaragtay caqliyan dhaqaalo wax walbo laakiin anaga haddaan is jeclaano dad waxaan ahay dad fiican Soomaali dad fiican waa sidaan is sheegaysa dad fiican waaye Minnesota waxa ka dhacay waa aragteen how maaragtay oo siyaasadina galama rabin laakiin dadkeena waa isku soo dhaweysay haddaa maaragtay is jeclaano oo jecel is siino wax walba dhici kara I came all the way Thursday from Vancouver Island yeah Vancouver Island I came out ferry soo qaatay 3 hours soo drive gareynay just enough to be in idinla joogay
ما شاء الله
like so marka is jeclaada maaragtay cunto isu kariya hadhihin maxaan kuu sameeyaa samee waxaas like haddaa ku dhahdo qofka maxaan kuu qabtaa they were not gonna ask tell you waxaas oo baahanahay so haddaa og tahay maanta aanise inay guriga kasoo bixin anise maxay jeceshahay bubble tea soo qaad ugee yes maaragtay hadhihin qof intaad microphone ka qaata ama telefoon ka qaata maxaan kuu qabtaa baa soo wacdaa baahan tahay no waxaa rabti inaad samaysid kabaha gasho samee so aan jeclaano maaragtay aan waxaa kusoo gabagabaynaa kulligiin maaragtay dad muslimiina tihiin markuu dardaarmaya khudbada u dambeysay maaragtay nabigu wuxuu dhahay wanaaga dhexdiina sameeya xuquuqda qofka kale ilaaliya dignityga qofka kaleeto charterka ma garanaya united nationka haddaa fiirsid waxaa ka mid ah qofka inaa ceebtiisa ilaalisid inaa wanaagiisa ilaalisid inaa maaragtay jeceel siisid jeceelka adiga haddaa bixisid wuu kugu soo noqonaa tusaale yar aan isiino I'm so sorry Kauthar Kauthar gacanta taag ma joogtaa ma bax Kauthar Cabdirashiid okay Kauthar ma joogto Kauthar anise markay isbaranayeen waxay ka qabtay impression kaleeto in anise qof maaragtay oo mean tahay who will think anise in a mean tahay like who will in the world anise u maleynayo anise like maaragtay is just hadda jooga organ donor ama driver license haddaan waxay u dhacaan every part of my body waxa waaye waa la qaybinaya saas ee tahay hadduu maanta maaragtay qof anis u baahan tahay I would like ma hesitate garanaysi waa like qof saas ogaa marka anaga inaan maaragtay xumaan iska fikirna maaha inaas jeclaano waaye jaceelka important waaye bulsho ma dhismato ilaa la isjeclaado masantiin
thank you
Okay. One point before we do the closing, for Aniga Manta, your Mona, we have the kids who are older. And we've gone through the struggle. We've seen the worst of the worst. We've sweated. So my advice to the young parents, and I always tell each and every parent, start young. Inte weli yeri in Kagara. Because trust me, I've seen a lot of families okule ما يوسك في عنان هذا الكير وحير هذا الكبكتاه. Or they'll say, Mama يركيغا مر أنا وصو بوذا لكن عادي ويا. مركا ولا ليال. Let's not take this thing lightly. It requires a lot of time. And Alhamdulillah, Manta, I have a very strong wife who's amazing. I don't know, okay, I'm not going to talk about you again, baby, if you're here. But I mean, she's put a lot of time. And even me, when I was in denial, I wasn't sure. What I did was, the best thing that I did was I just continued listening to her. She opened the doors. So when they're younger, when we put our efforts and try to really help these kids, you will see results. And in Naku, we as Maangaar families, we don't celebrate big wins. We celebrate very tiny progress. Manta Rado Abo, I love you. The whole world will know.
That's right.
My son said, I love you.
Yes.
So it's very, very important because trust me, I've seen families who say, Mama, he'll be fine. Aniga ba hadalka wigu dahay. Aniga ba lix jir ba ku hadle oo todoba jir ba ku hadle. Waxaan gaalada haga dhigisan. Trust me, that's the biggest mistake you can ever do. Because trust me, if you don't invest right now while they're younger, you don't know what the storm is coming. There's a storm coming. I mean, I'll be very honest, there's a time we used to walk on eggshells in our own home. Because you don't know what's going to trigger him. What cartoon is going to trigger him. How many black eye have I had in my house? It's not that he hates me. It's not like he wants to hurt me. His body is looking for a fix. He doesn't know. So the therapies, the diet, you continue spending that time with that child. Never give up. 3 things, aniga otsanaya. Patience. Patience. Consistency. And determination. You have to stay consistent. I don't care. Manta, anigu yarkeyga markan la socdo, I go everywhere. If I come home, I'm tired. I feel like the day I'm beat, but I already know his markui arko kabisi busokate. He knows we're going to the lake. I have to suck it up because I have to continue that consistency. Whatever wehi and bare, I have to stay on that same road. So I mean to the young parents, wala loyal, make sure you invest now. If you see something, never use the Somali psychology of lawa halayri. Somalia la gain dona. Ana gelban sin dona. Uska fi'nan dona. Markad weydiisid yaa yidhi wuxuu ku leeyahay saasa la leeyahay. Yaa yidhi. Exactly. But one thing you have to understand, you as a parent, you know more about autism right now than your own doctor. That doctor spends 30 minutes with that child.
That's right.
You spend the whole day.
Yes.
Learn their triggers.
Yes.
Learn their diet, their sleep patterns. And even be, as a parent of it's crazy sometimes when I tell people, I become a poop expert.
Yes.
To learn, to see Manta from his poop, it can tell me what kind of day he's gonna have.
Yes.
I know how it's gonna affect him. I know he had a cookie or I gave him an extra cake. I think he got the Manta high because now he ain't gonna sleep at night. So you as a parent, trust me, you are the best advocate. And if you don't know, that's a way there. That go Kale and say, listen, Hamza, I'm tired. Trust me, we are all tired. You're not a failure as a parent. You're a hero. But you have to come to people and say, wala layal, mahan qabta. We as society is mahan qabta, sidadi aawin kartan ma jirto, waxa weeyaan ilmeyga waxba ma qabo. Let's avoid that at all cost. We gotta be people who help each other. I knock on my door's neighbor. I take my son because my neighbors are my protectors. I want them to know what's happening with my son. I want them to know, Manta Wilkega Adulumo, who are they gonna help? They're gonna help me. Melasa Deku Arkan, Harun, what are you doing here? Let's go home. So I go knock on their door. I say, hey, listen, my son, he's autistic. He's very impulsive. If he sees your door open, he might just walk in and jump on your remote. He might go to your fridge and try to see what is. So they have to know everything about your child. Because trust me, we are a village. And as a villagers, we have to protect each other. So when you
Thank you, Hamza. Maalin dhan, Hamza wuxuu u baahan yahay inaan maalin dhan event dhan u sameyno so that we can learn from him. So this kaliya ma aha enough. Waa ka xumahay Hamza and dhammaantiin waa mahadsantiin Abaaymuno. And speaking of cuntada, su'aal kale haddii aan waqti haysan lahaa waxaan dhihi lahaa Abaaymuno, how can you stay beautiful while you are a Maangaar mom? Marka mashallah, yes. And waxaan doonayaa oo kale Abu Zaid oo martino ah inaan iraado shout out. Abu Zaid.
How did we forget about our king?
From Portland, Oregon.
Abu Zaid, thank you for showing up.
Yes, Abaya question leedahay, yeah.
So su'aashan qaba waxay tahay Minneapolis baan ka nimid and Minneapolis people way og yihiin. Where are the Seattle people? You guys don't have enough autistic moms or dads?
Plenty.
And I don't see dads, I'm complaining.
Plenty. Good
so
question.
Maybe next time, and thank you so much, Fatima, for all that you guys are doing. But next time, I prefer to see more dads than moms, and maybe more moms. That's just the only complaint.
Thank you.
Thank you. Aada u mahadsantiin. Anigu waxaan idinkugu darayaa hooyooyinka naftooda ha daryeelaan, hooyooyinka naftooda ha xanaaneeyaan, cunto wanaagsan ha cunaan, waayo hooyo waad u qalantaa. Waad u qalantaa inaad adigu isxanaanayso. Socodkana ogaada caafimaadka maskaxda iyo stresska dhan aad maraysid. Socodka wax weyn buu ka qabtaa. Socda. Waa mahadsantiin.
30 seconds to tell us about your event, which is coming on the 25th, right here. There can never be too many events. But for me, if you want to have one every week, yes, we can never have too many events. So Najm is going to tell us a quick one before we end. Please don't leave without taking the sensory bags. Um, Sensory bags for everyone. Before we go, thank you again. Mangar Voices, without you we're nothing. Thank you so much. Everybody who came. Our food was done by Naima Rashid right there, a local mom and a chef. Our videography is local. Yahya, he's right here. I will tell you guys. Amazing work. I try to get everything local here. So thank you guys so much. We really appreciate Prevail. Thank you so much for coming. And all the people who came, thank you for staying for the whole shebang. We appreciate you guys. Mohammed Anshur, Mohammed Aden, thank you coming all the way from Canada. We appreciate you. I really do. I am filled with love and happiness for being here today. I know Muna said we don't have a lot of people, but Seattle is an introverted kind of city. We're not outgoing like that. We like to do it small. Yes, she's there too. Let's Shukri, thank you. We see you, girl. Thank you. I'm Najma. Oh, there you are.
My name is Najma Asman. I'm the executive director of.
Hello.
No worries. Okay. No worries. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. First of all, I'm honored to be here. This is such a beautiful event, Fatima and Nim'a, and just everyone who was involved in doing this beautiful event. Allahumma barik. And yeah, it's an honor to be here. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the event that we have on the 25th. So Somali Health Board, in collaboration with Washington Multicultural Services Link, has a autism celebration event on the 25th, inshallah. It'll be in the same room. And yeah, the more the merrier. So inshallah, be there. We'll have speakers, parents who have children on the spectrum, lots of resources as well. And yeah, the more the merrier. So hope to see you all there, inshallah.
magacaygu waa Faadimo Axmed Bulaale aniga iyo walaashay Nimco Axmed Bulaale baanu sameynay Maangaar Summit kan Seattle Washington laakiin sidee anigu kaliya maanu sameynin dad badan baa nagula jiray gabdho badan oo ka yimid Minnesota oo Maangaar Voices la yiraahdo community organization badan oo magaaladeeda jooga baa si fiican noo caawiyay donations and time so dadka nala sameynay hosteska Ubax Warsame Dr. Muna Dr. Ahmed Hamze oo la co-host garanayay Dr. Abino Minnesota ka timid dadkoo dhan oo nala sameeyay waxaan doonayaa inaan aad iyo aad ugu mahadnaqo ku raado aad iyo aad mahadsantihiin la'aantiin maanan qaban karin hawshan laakiinse de maxaan u sameynay hawshan waxaan u sameynay waan ognahay magaaladeena iyo magaalooyinka kale adduunka ba ciyaal badan oo Soomaaliya Maangaar baa jooga iyo dad badan oo dhalay oo caawismo aad baa caawismo badan aad ugu baahan anigu waxaan ka mid ahay parentskaas oo ciyaal kale wiil baan leeyahay autistica marka waxaan doonayay dadkayga inaan la gaadho anigu waxaan soo helay ayagana inaan ka barto marka inagu isa soo guulaysano oo wax isla qabsano meel baan gaadhnaa laakiin haddaan keligeen meel fadhiisano ciyaalkeena inaguba mugdi baanu ku jirnaa so maanta waxaan doonayaa inaan aadidin mahadgeliyo alxamdulilah ilaahay la'aantiis waxba lama qaban karo laakiin dadkaygana maasha allah aad iyo aad baan u nimi magaalooyin badan Canada Oregon Minnesota meelo badan baa looga yimi so dadkaasoo dhan aad baan ugu mahadnaqayaa waad mahadsantihiin dee meeshana waa inaan hawshan la sii wada weeye waa inaan lagu qabto magaalo kasta I know Minnesota way ka dhacdaa I know Columbus way u baahan tahay I know Boston way u baahan tahay I know Portland way u baahan tahay meel kasta ka qabatiin dee anaguna waa idin garab taagannahay thank you so much
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Tonight we met over here in Seattle for Maangaar Summit. This is our first Maangaar Summit in Seattle. We've done a few in Minnesota. Mashallah, amazing group of panelists, professionals, parents, self-advocates. It turned out to be great. At the end of the day is we have to share our own stories so other families can share their own stories. At the end of the day, is we have to empower our own community with what we know, learn from our experiences. Let's basically grow a community from the scratch down and try to understand exactly what Maangaar is. We have amazing people that have gone through the grinder, that are parents, self-advocates. We have providers. We are bringing Maangaar support services to you. So it's you as a parent to try your level best, open your ears, and let's break the stigma. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
السلام عليكم مقعيقة وإسماعيل جردور سمي أو كي إميد قبل كأوريغن maanta oo ay tahay maalinimo sabti ah bisha April 12 ayaan waxaan ka soo qayb galay xaflad ama munaasabad lagu maamuusayay Maangaar waa dadka Soomaaliyeed oo maxay ahaatay macnaha maskaxdooda ee dhinac noocyada gooniga u develop garayso arintaas oo maxay ahaatay eray ee dad Soomaaliyeed oo khubaro isku soo dabarideen si ay eray fiican ugu helaan lagu qeexo Maangaar waa eray keeni karo isku duubnaan oo samayn karo dadka in ay soo baxaan oo u soo banbaxaan si ay caruurtooda iyo community-gooda u daryeelaan waxaa meeshaan maanta ka hadlay dad dhakhaatiir waxaa ka hadlay dad oo kala duwan oo waxbarashada iyo aqoonta iyo community-ga dhinacyo badan uga jiro sidoo kale waalidiin ayaa ka hadlay sidoo kale waxaa ka hadlay dad ayaga Maangaar oo keynote-ka qofka oo furaya xafladda oo ahaa wiil Maangaar oo wiil aad iyo aad uga gaaro horumar maxay ahaatay waxbarashadiisa sidoo kale noqday qof leader oo hogaamiyo waxaa jirto maahmaah South African ee sheegeen dadka oo disability u dooda oo nothing about us without us is for us oo tahay wax kasta oo annaga nagu saabsan haddii aan annaga ku dhex jirin annaga ma lihin taas micnaheedu waxa waaye qof kale mar kastaba oo ka baxsan ama community-gaada ka baxsan mar kastaba ma ku wadi karo waxaa loo baahan yahay dadka ayada hooyooyinka aabayaasha dadka ayaga ay taabatay inay leaders ka ahaadaan dadka kalena sidoo kale inay ka soo qayb galaan aysan noqonin effort hal gaar u tahay sababtoo mar kasto oo arrin oo muhiim oo annaga noo ee group u istaagaan haddii lagu dayaco taas waxay noqonaysaa in annagana noqono silos wax la dhaho group walba meel ay taagan yihiin laakiinse synergy loo baahan yahay ama isku duubnaan tan maanta cawada waxayna tusay xaflad aad u qurux badan hadalla badan oo muhiim laga soo jeediyay ana runtiina Maangaar bas ma waxay anficayso qof kasta anficaysa qof kasto cawada inta fadhiyay faa'iido u soo korodhay waxa laga hadlay sida advocacy loo sameeyo iskuulaadka systemkooda dawladda systemkeeda waxa laga hadlay maxay ahaatay xitaa markii la weynaado ama dadka markay retirement galaan qaabka ay caruurtooda iyo waxyaabaha ay sameyn doonaan wax kasta laga hadlay from ciyalka waqtiga ay dhashaan ilaa ay waqtiga la dhinto waxa laga hadlay xitaa aakhira laga hadlay iyo maxay ahaatay sidee u noqonayaan dadkan maxay ahaatay waalidiintood ay ugu lead gareyn karaan inay janno galaan waxa cawada laga hadlay waxa looga baahan yahay inay magaalo kasta gaarto magaalada Seattle ayaa cawada u yeelatay nasiib inay soo gaarto Maangaar Summit oo wax wareego waxa laga yaabaa next year inay magaaladaada imaado haddaysan imaanin adiga waa wax ku saaran xil in aad keentid waana xaflado badan oo noocaan oo kale loo baahan yahay hadda dadka soo qalqaban qaabiyay waxay noo sheegeen weekendiga soo socdo maho wiiga ku xiga 25ka in ayadana jirto taasna waxay ku tusaysaa magaalada Seattle inay tahay xarun oo innovation leh oo maxay ahayd caafimaadkeeda oo sareeyo iyo dad arrimahaas u bisil magaalada Portland oo aan ka imidna sidoo kale waxaan rajaynayaa inay ku daysato sidoo kale magaalooyinka kale oo Mareykanka iyo ka baxsanba inay ayagana ku wada daysadaan mar kastaba dadka Maangaarka ay fiiro gaar u yeeshaan maadaama ay yihiin dad community-geena important oo ka dhaxmid oo ayna tahay in aan siino ihtimaamka iyo maxay ahayd attention-ka ay u baahan yihiin ayna xaq noogu leeyihiin assalaamu calaykum
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته مقعيقة ومهد محمد شغداه شغنور آدي أطلع فرحسن هاي I'm really happy and grateful to take part in this year's Maangaar Summit, the first ever to do it, not only here in Washington State, but for the entire Pacific Northwest. And I'm also grateful to all of our community, both here, not only here in Washington State, but also in Oregon, in Minnesota, and all across North America, that really came together to create and grow this movement, because it is needed now more than ever. Because it is important that we come together as a community and we put our minds and resources together to create a unique destination and unique movement for all Somalis, especially those who have autism or various conditions like ADHD, for example. Alhamdulillah, it's truly amazing that we're here and we show up for each other, and that we continue to really find ways to create a positive impact, and rewrite the narrative when it comes to neurodiversity and disability justice here in the East African community, both today and as we move forward, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan, wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Bashir here, you guys. We are here at the Maangaar Summit, Washington edition, and it was just a powerhouse, you guys. I took away from this space what felt like a community coming together and really standing alongside each other with this movement, a movement with positivity around taking care of our vulnerable people, positivity around encouraging people to not isolate and to seek out help. And we were just really happy to be here for our Seattle village. And so here you go.
We, Maangaar Voices in Minnesota, we call Seattle Maangaar the Dream Team. We are very much inspired by how close they are and how they love one another and how they show up for their community. We came here today to support our Seattle siblings. They mean a lot to us. We are very excited as the OGs of Maangaar in Minnesota to go to every single state. We are going to be going to every city that Maangaar is there, that is celebrated, and the awareness is there. I say to the Somali community, whatever city that you live in, there is an autistic child in every other house. There's an autistic adult in every house. There's autism everywhere. Maangaar is here, so the movement needs to continue in every city, Seattle or Washington. We call them Maangaar Voices, Maangaar Seattle, the Dream Team. We are inspired by them, and we have had a wonderful time here getting to know everybody, and we cannot wait to come back, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Maanta aad iyo aad waxaan ugu faraxsanahay. Our second home, Seattle's becoming my second home now. I thought Cali might be, but not really. Anyways, Fatma Bulale, Hamza, Dr. Mona, Ubah, Mahad, Habashukri, all of them amazing human beings. They're always there for us. I'm so glad to be part of the first Maangaar Summit here in Seattle, Washington. I cannot wait for 100 more years of them to come. I probably won't be here. They won't be here either. But our children, our grandkids, inshallah, we will be here. So this is the first one. I hope to see you guys the next one, inshallah, in every city of the United States of America.
Maangaar Summit everywhere.
And then we're gonna go global, inshallah. Yeah. Maangaar means unique mind. It started in Minnesota, but it's gonna go global. We're gonna hold a Minnesota Maangaar Summit in the fall, inshallah. And we're gonna keep spreading this positive message because our children deserve it, because we deserve it, and because the Ummah deserves it. Maangaar forever. Thank you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته مقعي ونور محمود وحن كنا لها سيارة واشنطن ما أنت وحن كسر قريب قال لي إن حلفت يسوق بنقابيين مانغار وحويان أورور عاوية ودقائق عرورتنا سبيشال كا اللي يقارن أفكار قلاد أوتيستيك لكن أنا أقول بحنا مقعد هذا قروح بدن أو هذا مانغار run ahaantii xalfadan si wanaagsan ayay u dhacday maanta si qurux badan waxa iskugu yimid dad fara badan oo cabqariyiina aqoon-yahana ah oo ka kala yimid gobolada kala gedisan ee maaragtay haday tahay Minnesota haday tahay Columbus haday tahay Seattle run ahaantii si wanaagsan bay u dhacday waxyaabaha lagaga hadlay waxa kamid ah sida caruurteena aan ugu heli lahayn support iyo resource maaragtay caawinaya oo maxay taale iyo sida ay bulshada u dhaxgali lahaayeen sida ay maaragtay caruuraha kale ee maaragtay ay ula wax qaybsan lahaayeen run ahaantii aad iyo aad baan ugu faraxsanahay in maaragtay community-gan soo kale isku support garanayso aad iyo aad baan ugu faraxsanahay aad iyo aad baan ugu faanaya assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh